Distance nerding.
Hey! What's up, everybody? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is that time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for some distance nerd love. It's Taco Tuesday, and you know what that means. You are now experiencing distance nerding.
Part of the Comic-Con radio pod.
She's the Meryl Streep of the podcast. It's Jen from Frey Comics.
Yes, and Devil Wears Prada is who I am possessing today. The Tom to our Jerry, the Looney to our Tunes. Does he even know what those are?
I know what those are. And he's eating up all the chitlins, all the pig's feet, all the hog maws. It's young Phil.
Does he even know what those are?
No, not eating any of that. And we're here
To nerd
together.
Oh, we got the. Oh, we didn't. Okay.
Oh, did I miss? Because that's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Jahmez is not here. We didn't rewrite. Sorry, he was the bowl cut away from being the fifth Beatle.
Yeah, that was Jahmez by 1,000.
That was Jahmez.
But he's not here right now.
So I did yours. Yeah, I did. So I did the
Yeah.
one I
Right.
was supposed to
So
do.
we're here to nerd together. We're talking anything
Yeah.
pop culture, news, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on YouTube right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really helps us out. Listen to on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review, and remember, 5 stars helps us so much. On all the places, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, Discord, all at Distance Nerding. And of course, if you would like to send us an email and be part of the Cool Kids Club, you can send us an email at everybody's favorite place, distancenerding@aol.com. Guys, how are we doing this week?
Ooh, good. Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride,
Right.
like everything.
Right.
Everything's roller coastery.
Life. You know what? Life is one big roller coaster. One big rickety wooden roller coaster.
It sounds about
Rickety,
right.
rackety, rollery coastery.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Sounds like it's a bit much, but we'll go with it.
I'm a lot today. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled upon the worst kept secret on all of the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Build. Sorry, the download. I'm saying The Build because everybody keeps messing me up on the page.
What
They
show are we
incepted
on?
you.
I don't know what show we're doing. It's the download. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and it is now time. I'm actually going to put us up here. So let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. This week on deck, of course, we've got the Geek End update.
Oh.
We pewed it up at the 2nd annual Gaming Expo.
Oh, was I supposed to beer that?
No, I just
I mean,
did it.
you can. It's
You can do
Okay.
it now if you want.
Gaming Expo. There we go. All right. Rumors.
Is there a storm brewing in the MCU?
But is there?
I bet
What
she
is there?
make really good coffee.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dilly.
All right, and of course, the download. We've got a whole bunch going on there.
We say goodbye to our wingman, and we will fill in the void on the Thunderbolts.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We're getting a little funky.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I spilled a little drink on my on the mixer earlier, and now the volume is all crazy.
I see.
On the music side.
That is why I bet that's why Husby is asking me if my gain is still all the way up.
Yeah,
Probably.
no, the music was like drowning a lot out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm turning it off for the moment just because
All right.
it is
How's my
on
gain?
the fritz. Your gain actually sounds good.
I mean, I do feel a little bloated today, so.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this before we get into all the fun, of course. But first, let me get a shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, the show is brought to you by Debbie. Debbie is a brand
What
of
is
energy
going
drinks
on?
created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Debbie contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Debbie at www.debbie.gg and use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. Oh man, it is already
It's already falling apart.
yes, it has.
You're also me. Did
yes.
you change your
What?
Yeah, see? Yeah,
it
you're
says
also-
you're me.
Sure.
Jen,
Yep,
not
I
a
see it.
poser.
Yeah, no, I see it.
Once again, establishing it is already falling apart.
Yeah.
Again, if we're never on the rails, we can never be,
Be off the rails. Exactly.
That should be our mantra
It
for
really should be.
2025. If you're never on the rails,
You can't be off of them.
you can't ever go off.
All right, there we go. I'm fixed. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, find out more about Debbie at www.debbie.gg. Use the code NERDING10, get 10% off your order. I'm pretty much just repeating what I just said.
Yep, it's W. You know what it is.
It's okay. You guys know what we're doing here. It's all about the dubs. Oh, God. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, Distance Nerding is on Comic-Con Radio. Find out all about Distance Nerding and our second show, A Comic Conversation, on comiccon-radio.com/podcasts. SHDU, do the honors. Pop that in the chat, sir.
Ooh, all right.
We're
You did-
trusting him with this now.
He did such a good job last week. We're going to let him do it again.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, I think it worked.
Did it work?
Maybe.
Is it
Potentially.
good? Are we good?
I can see it on here. I can see it on the actual stream.
Uh-huh. You can. I
Yeah.
can't.
I can't see anything. So you're fired again. Don't. It's okay. I got it.
Oh, dilly dilly, Sacramento Deadpool, dilly dilly. All right. Well, let's move on. We'll get this.
Dilly
all
dilly.
started.
Sorry.
I can see it's there. I can see. Okay, I know what's going on.
Distance Nerding is part of the Geek
Yeah, I can see you guys. Okay.
Network.
Yay! We're part of Geek Freaks.
We are nerding, geeking, freaking, everything.
That's right.
Geek Freaks Podcast, Challenge Accepted, Outlast Podcast, Fandom Portals, Who's Got Next Game, Disney Mom's Gone Wrong, or right, if they do it correctly, Geek Freaks Interviews, Headlines, and Anime Plus.
So those are all the shows that are on the Geek Freaks Network. We are now a part of that group. We are in that illustrious group of people. So find us with all of our new friends. We're going to be doing more shows and more cross pollination of some nerding at the
Cross-pollination.
difference.
Ooh.
Yes. So that's where we're going to be here, guys. And I'm excited for it. You know, we've been hanging out with our boy Frank, and he's been giving us all of the new kind of like, you know, dirt on how to become a better network, you know, or a bit better podcast.
Nice.
Frank's a sweetie.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Unless he wants to be considered an a-hole. And then I'll call him an a-hole. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever he likes. I'm not picky.
So guys, head over to geekfreakspodcast.com and check out all the shows there, all the news updates and everything like that. It's pretty much a network which like everything they do is pretty much the same stuff that we do. So it's pretty awesome.
Are those new headphones you have on there, Philip?
No, they're the same, but there's a glare in my camera that I can't get rid of right now.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
making
that
my
makes
headphones.
sense.
It's making my
Yeah.
headphones look a different color.
They look blue. They look the same color
It's
as
weird. Yeah.
as the blue
Yeah.
on the thing.
Like I
Yeah.
said,
Huh.
there's a glare.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about. It's like
okay.
reflecting off. Yeah.
I thought they looked good.
Mine are blue.
Yeah, yours are blue. Yours are new.
They are.
New and blue.
There we go. Just turn that
For
off.
you.
Not that much
Okay.
better. All right. Well,
They're-
ladies and
they're
gentlemen,
not something borrowed though. So.
ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the shout out. So let's jump right into this. It's time for the Geek End update.
Woo. Yeah, maybe.
Hold
Maybe,
on.
Potentially. Possibly.
There we go.
Rancho Cordova's second annual gaming expo was this weekend in Sacramento, California.
That's
Featured the exhibitor Smash Brother tournaments, gaming exhibits, local indie gaming developers.
Ooh.
Geek Freaks podcast was there. D Squad / R2SC, David Gonzalez, Odin Makes. Tons and tons of people were there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was fun. I heard. I wasn't there.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
it was
I was
fun.
about to say you were there.
I was there in spirit. I shocked a lot of people. I might have goosed a couple. If you guys got goosed, that was me. And we also have VacaCon. Is it Vaca or Vaca?
Vaca, no, for Vacaville.
VacaCon, April 12th and 13th in Vacaville, California. 2 days of artist, vendors, panels, celebrity guests, fandom meetups, cosplay contests, kids zone, car show, food trucks, and so much more.
Featuring Keith Coogan from Adventures in Babysitting. Apparently, don't tell them on the babysitter. Apparently, he's been in a lot of babysitter stuff. Toy Soldier Shade, Silent Bob Reboot. We have John Morris, who was Andy from Toy Story. He was in Nightmare Before Christmas. We have Jessica DiCiccio from Adventure Time, Loud House, Final Fantasy 9, I believe.
13.
13. My Roman numerals are not very good, even though I took Latin. Jason Hughes, also Jade, Silent Bob. We have Michael Winslow from Police Academy, and a bunch of other people. You can visit Instagram, VacaCon on Instagram for info and tickets.
Yeah. Funny enough, like you're gonna have Jay Muse and Michael Winslow, so it's like those two guys together. You have perpetual like representative of ADD,
Yes.
and you
Yes,
have
absolutely.
the guy who can do any noise with his mouth.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting show.
It absolutely is, man. I'm curious how Jay Muse is gonna do on there. Just like, usually he's like building a Lego set or something because he's got like the only thing that can like keep his attention enough to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Well, that-
that's going to be interesting.
that
Yeah,
sounds familiar.
usually having Kevin Smith there is like a prerequisite because Kevin Smith tends to like chill him down a little
Mhm.
with his ADHD or his ADD.
is ADD. Yeah,
ADD.
ADD.
worse.
As do I.
And,
Yep, I get it.
Yeah, so we'll see, but he'll be a great time. Everybody
Absolutely.
will have so much fun because
Oh,
he is
100%.
definitely a performer. So
Right. All right. Well, let's jump into this, guys. We've got one rumor today, so let's jump on this. Okay.
so it's really starting rumor.
So we're starting a rumor and
A
getting
rumor.
banned in Belarus. So let's do this.
Let's get
Woo.
that band in Belarus.
Do it.
Band
Band in
in Rus. Band in
Banned in
Belarus.
Belarus. We're banned in Belarus. I think it's like a badge of honor to be banned in Belarus.
I know that's how I take it.
Yeah. Like apparently, like, oh, we don't like that song because we don't like the party. So
Right.
Yeah. So they do not like us in Belarus. I feel like we should get an award just that says we are banned in Belarus. Like,
We probably should. That would be amazing. Let's move into this first rumor here,
All right.
guys.
We need more chairs! Last week, Marvel rolled out a huge cast list for their upcoming epic ensemble event film, Avengers Doomsday. But even with this impressive reveal, many figured there was still some names to be revealed. Marvel fans got a few tasty crumbs thanks to Kevin Feige, who beamed in via video at Cinemacon. Feige confirmed 2 key things. Filming is about to kick off, and the full cast list is still under wraps. He said, the full cast hasn't been revealed yet. Avengers Doomsday will revolve around the Avengers, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and original X-Men, all fighting Doctor Doom. One character who seems to be looking at a return is Halle Berry's X-Men persona, Storm. Many other X-Men were announced, but we didn't see her name. Berry is now close to finalizing her deal for a return as Storm in Avengers Doomsday. It's been reported that many actors who were not yet announced are still negotiating the deals for their returns. So, tacos on the table. Is there a storm brewing over at Marvel? Who else do you think is waiting in the wings to be announced?
I think there's a lot going on with that because they said that they were going to be announcing more people. I think it's just like there's contracts that haven't been like finalized and finished.
Right.
Obviously, Halle Berry being one. Everybody's talking about Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
You know,
Hugh
Jackman. You know, there's so many things going on where people are like, oh, you know, we know that there's going to be more just general Marvel characters that are going to come.
Right.
So I mean, I think this is just the big deal, just because Halle Berry is probably closer to finalizing her deal than everybody else is.
Yeah, and I mean, she's done some like social media stuff where she's like had a white wig on and all this other stuff. So you definitely think she's ready. So yeah, I could see that. But I also I'm wondering if we're going to get any of the Eternals back.
Ooh.
I
hope so.
That's interesting as well. You know, I'm also kind of thinking like, okay, well, whatever happened to Black Knight? You know, are we going to be getting
Right.
Black Knight?
Blade? Will we finally get to see Blade?
I don't think we're going to see Blade in this, unless it's Wesley.
Right.
Oh, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there'll only ever be one Blade.
There's only ever been one Blade.
No, Wesley. No. Bad Wesley. Bad.
Hey, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
There's something about people named Wesley that just, you know, people just don't like, right? Wesley Snipes, Wesley Crusher.
Right? Which is a joke I was making. Right?
Y'all don't know who James Wesley is. You ain't Daredevil fans.
I just started watching the damn series.
He did. He started watching the original Daredevil series to get ready to watch.
It's really, really good.
Oh.
It's really good.
So Rachel's Adventures in Idaho saying she hopes you bring the doll with you.
Well, she had some drinks earlier, so she's a little
She's a little tuckered out. But...
So she wants to take a picture with it.
Oh, that's right. She didn't get to. I forgot.
Oh.
She was sitting in my car the whole time. Like I thought I'd left her at the hotel, but she was sitting.
You brought that creepy ass baby and you didn't take a picture with it out. No, baby, go home. Go home, baby. Sack Deadpool saying Chris Pratt. That is another name.
Yeah, it's a good point.
That they did specifically say was going to come back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I could see that. I'm sure we'll get some surprises.
Yeah.
I would like to see John Krasinski come back as a Reed Richards.
Absolutely, I agree.
That would be great.
I think he was a really good Reed Richards.
Yeah.
He was.
The little bit we got of him. Yeah.
And it would be interesting to see him and Pedro Pascal like meet each other as
They just do the Spider-Man pointing thing.
No, I think it'd be funny to be like, oh, one of in your world, one of my ancestors got a little spicy.
Like what I would like to see is the two of them, rather than, you know, how everybody does like, oh, they do the Spider-Man reaction, like they walk into the room and they immediately recognize that they're different variants of themselves and just put their hands behind their backs and just kind of start inspecting each other.
I feel like that's more in character for
Right.
Because like,
or they just stretch their hands out and shake hands,
Just-
stretchy wise.
Right.
like have the two of them, and then the dude who played them played Reed in the first Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Neon Gruffled.
Yeah,
think.
like have the three of them just kind of like looking each other up and down, like,
Yeah.
Slapping high fives from across the room. You know, they're bros. They know what it's about. Counselor Reeds, baby.
The question is, which one is the comic book accurate one, which means which one is abusive?
Well, I mean, Pedro's daddy. He wouldn't do that, so I don't think that's it.
Like, no, Zaddy can't be the abusive one. John Krasinski is pretty daddy himself, so I mean, like,
Yeah.
Oh well, Eon, you're up, buddy.
like, oh god,
Oh.
that's
Look,
terrible.
okay,
I'm not even gonna say that out loud.
She is possessed. It's not that bad.
She was possessed by a loving, wonderful child, and we love her.
Oh man,
Right?
Who also
my tacos
incidentally
are on
does
the
happen to
table.
be a demon. All right, so
My tacos are on the table for this. I do believe that Halle's coming back, just especially with them bringing back all the X-Men characters. It makes a lot of sense.
all right,
Go ahead.
Oh god.
Oh,
I heard.
it's gonna take him half an hour. Okay,
heard.
let me
Oh,
go ahead and
hey.
do it. It's Jahmez 5000.
He was a bowl cut away from being the fifth Beatle. It's Jahmez 5000.
Yeah, that's rude. Coming from the guy with a nice haircut.
He does have the nicest hair on this entire.
You win hair for the week.
Oh, you got the hair award. Raise the roof. My tacos are on the table. I feel like they're doing X2. I think that's where we're going from is X2.
So we're just going to erase X-Men for, what was it, the United We Stand or whatever it was? The movie
Whatever that was.
The Last Stand.
Last Stand, yeah.
Yeah.
Either they're going to do that or they'll go with Days of Future Past.
Yeah. My heavily electrified tempestuous tacos are on the table.
Oh.
Googling tempestuous.
It means stormy.
Just say that.
Oh,
Right?
Tempest. Okay, I get it. No, I get it.
Because it
Tempest.
sounds cooler, and
It does sound cooler.
Look,
It
Zephyr
sounds-
just
sounds-
means win.
it
It
is
sounds both
dramatic.
cooler and suggestive at the same time. It is Halle Berry we're talking about.
That's true. That is true.
You're not wrong.
Hallie don't play like that. But that's the only rumor we have, y'all.
That is the
Is
only.
everybody's tacos on the table for that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's coming.
She's
When are they going to announce it, though?
Well, as soon as the contract is finished.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
gonna write that. She's gonna write that name. She's gonna put her Halle Berry on it.
I was just thinking, is it going to be San Diego Comic-Con where they announce things? Or is it going to be like D23 type thing?
It could be just because SDCC is coming up. So, I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I feel like the ones that were announced and all we saw were their chairs, they're gonna be really disappointed if the ones that waited on their contracts got, well, maybe they won't. Never mind. I retract the statement.
All right, well, let's move into this, guys, because now, where'd my mouse go? Oh, okay, right there. Now it is time for the download.
Longest sentence.
It was mostly because I was like, oh, I'm not on the video tab. I gotta go find it.
Oh wow. I totally.
And you can email us at dis. No.
Yeah, that's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the first part of the download. It is time for everybody's most anticipated segment of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Jen's Casting Corral.
For more news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdington post. Let us know what you're nerding out on. Now on to the cast and corral, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
So. All right. So it's ladies' night and the feeling's right at the corral.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night and I
Thank
feel
you.
all right. Oh, what
Thank you, James. I know.
Oh, what a night.
Do you remember when the hangman met the Scarlet Witch? I do. Christine Milioti has joined the FX drama pilot Seven Sisters, starring opposite the previously announced Elizabeth Olsen. What chaos do you think these sisters could get up to?
So much.
There's going to be some daddy issues in that show.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
You have Kristen Milioti and Elizabeth Olsen, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to be so bad.
So the premise of it, I didn't put this on there, but I had read a little bit about it. The premise is like Elizabeth Olsen is like the number one on the call sheet. And then Christine Milioti plays one of her sisters. But Elizabeth Olsen starts hearing voices. And they all think she's crazy. And it's like, but it's actually like this supernatural thing. So, I
Like
mean,
she's
it really
Randy Orton?
could be Hangman meeting the Scarlet Witch, if you think about it.
I mean, yeah.
What is it, Randy Orton? I hear voices in my head. They tell me. They understand. They come for me.
This one looks pretty interesting. I
wasn't
I
bad,
saw some of the
actually.
other casting, and I think it's supposed to be like a pretty well stacked cast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun. You know, it's going to be the A-Force that we probably will never get.
I mean, we got a glimpse of A-Force.
Kind of, sort of. I called that Mom Force because they were all momming that Peter. Is this the sequel to Devil Wears Prada? No?
Maybe.
Oh, well.
It could be.
Still talk about it. Meryl Streep is in talks to take on the role of Aslan in the upcoming adaptation of Chronicles of Narnia from filmmaker Greta Gerwig. Just kidding. I love Greta. It's also reported the film will adapt the sixth novel, The Magician's Nephew, which chronologically takes place first in the series. All right, so first, there are 6 novels to this story?
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Okay, and second, the 6th one takes place before the other 5?
It was a prequel book.
Yeah.
The thing
Who
is,
do they think they are? Robert Jordan?
the thing about this, the only thing I see being problematic on this, and it's not actually problematic, is this is going to send all of the incels into a tizzy.
Which is, again, a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not upset about this, but I mean, like, it's going to get, like, this is going to be one of those movies that regardless of how bad it, regardless of how good it is going to get, like, review bombed all over the internet.
Oh, yeah.
Because all of the all the little fanboys that are going to be all pissed off that, oh, a woman's playing Aslan, a woman can't play Jesus.
Well, I mean, Jesus was born of a woman.
Yes, she was.
So
He was.
What's the big whoop?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, like, that's the whole thing. You're going to see a lot of people pissed off that Meryl Streep is playing Aslan.
She
I
can
don't
do
have a
anything
problem with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
she can. She
I
can
think
do
it'll be
anything.
really funny.
She
Yeah.
can play the magician's nephew. By the way, are they phoning it in on the titles of these books now? Magician's nephew? What is
Okay, well,
that?
the book was written like 150 years ago, so.
Was it?
Well, not 150. Like,
I know nothing.
like 100
honestly,
years ago.
It
Like
was-
100 years ago.
It's been a little while.
Yeah.
I
it's been a while.
neighbor's
never read
stepsister.
any Chronicles,
My
and
neighbor's-
I'm not sure where Narnia
That's
is.
James. That's not a book. That's something else.
That's a porn.
Yeah.
Title.
That's, yeah.
But,
That's on
okay,
porn.
never mind. Never mind.
Hey, did y'all know we had a gift shot? Because we got merch, people.
Oh,
oh.
people.
Oh.
I had that plan this time.
Yes.
you can, and so can you. We'll get your size and shirt reserved.
Too soon. Too soon.
Okay.
Look,
well,
James
let's-
is looking at us weird, everyone.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a merch plug in the middle of the show. All right, let's move on, guys. It
Hey,
is
we got more merch. I'll go get some.
Yeah, that's right. The new merch. I'm not going to say anything until he shows everybody. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to this. It's time for some news. Aboosh. So let's jump into this. First story. We're starting off with the sad news because we always have to start off with the sad news on this.
Okay.
It really,
We should-
truly is.
We
sad
should do this one because he probably knows him the least, so it'll affect him the least.
Okay. All right. You're still dangerous, but you can be my wingman anytime. Val Kilmer, the enigmatic actor who gave us Iceman Mardigan?
Mad
Mardigan.
Oh, yeah, him. And one of the most quotable portrayals of Doc Holliday ever put to screen has passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 65. His daughter, Mercedes, told the New York Times the cause was pneumonia. Kilmer had spent years fighting throat cancer, a battle that changed his voice but never diminished his presence. From the cruel precision of Top Gun's Iceman to the haunted soul of Jim Morrison in The Doors, Kilmer brought a rare intensity that fueled both his legend and complicated his career. Kilmer got his break in 1984's Top Secret, but then pivoted to films like Real Genius, Top Gun, and Willow, cementing his leading man status in the 80s, and went on to star in Batman Forever, Heat, The Doors, Tombstone, and an emotional return to Top Gun Maverick. Val Kilmer leaves behind a legacy of unforgettable performances, a life lived on his own terms, and a generation of moviegoers who will always remember him as their Huckleberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
He'll always be my Huckleberry. Although he was phenomenal in Top Secret, that's when I knew I was gonna like him forever.
Yeah. Fun fact: he actually doesn't say Huckleberry.
What does he say?
Hucklebearer.
Oh.
So back in like the West times and whatnot, a casket bearer was called a hucklebearer because the handle on the side of the casket is called a huckle.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So
look
he
at
says,
that Phil with the knowledge. It's like
Yeah.
he's a Phil splainer or something.
you know who I learned that from?
Who? Val Kilmer?
LaJack.
Oh, LaJack with the win.
Yeah. So when he says it, he doesn't say I'm your Huckleberry. He goes, he walks out and goes, I'm your Huckleberry. Basically saying he's gonna carry your casket.
Yeah. He got you.
Nice.
That you know what that was? That was the Old West version of I Got You fan.
Yeah.
That
I mean, it's kind of badass too, though. With the
It is because like
context.
it puts a whole new context to what he says. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
are like, I'm your Huckleberry, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cute, but in reality, he's saying, no, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna carry your casket.
Right.
It's kind of like a slap to the face.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually like darker than I thought. I
Yeah.
thought he was saying like, look, if something happens to you, I'll be a pallbearer for you because I love you so much. But he was saying, no, I'm going to shoot you. And
Then
then
carry your
I'm going to make
casket.
sure they bury your ass.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Literally
that.
what he means is
That's good. That's good. That's
especially
really
like again, go back to the scene and look at the context of what he's saying, and it makes so much sense
Yeah, that's true.
because he's getting into it with Wyatt Earp, and he walks out and he goes, I'm your Huckleberry. And that's why he goes, you have nothing to do with this, Doc.
Is this one of those Mandela effect things?
It might be.
Well,
I've never heard that until right now.
It's because the way he says it, right? Because he's got like this. Remember the characters from Georgia?
Got the
He has
drawl.
this southern drawl, right? And
Right.
it sounds like he's saying, "I'm your Huckleberry," right? But he's saying, "I'm your Huckleberry."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
I could have sworn he says Huckleberry. I've never heard Hucklebearer.
Yeah, there was something like I think one of the writers was explaining it.
Huh.
Oh, cool.
I could have sworn it was like Huckleberry, like I'll be the person. I'll be your
Huckleberry.
You want to dance? I'll dance. That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, he's saying, I'll be your Huckleberry, meaning like I will carry your casket.
I'm looking it up.
Let's keep it going though. So how far did you get?
Yes.
Did you read the thing? Did you read the
He
whole
read
thing?
all of it, so
Oh.
you're up.
Yeah, I got it. That's why we started talking about huckleberries.
Gotcha. All right.
Jahmez, it's you.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you're in the kitchen. In the goddamn refrigerator, eating up all the food, all the chitlins, all the pig's feet, all the collard greens, all the hog's moss. I like pig's feet. That's the longest intro ever. I love it.
That makes so much more sense. The pig's feet joke makes so much more sense.
Yeah, there
Today
it is.
is a good day. Ice Cube has finally locked in a deal to write and star in a new Friday movie last Friday with Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema. It's the fourth film in the classic comedy series and the first one in over 2 decades. Oh my gosh. Now the studio deals in place and creative wheels turning. The long-awaited final chapter is actually happening. Damn! No release date yet, but when it does release, it's probably going to be a Friday.
It better be a Friday.
That would
Y'all
be great,
best
yeah.
be doing a Friday.
Question is, does Craig get fired on his day off again?
How you get fired on your day off?
How you get fired on your day off? Also,
I've been
does Smokey
promoted
come
on
back?
my day off, but never.
As much as I love Day Day, does Smokey come back? That's all I care about. I want to see an older Smokey that's like, kind of grown up a little bit, but is still kind of hood.
Okay,
I'll grow
so
up and you come
Phil,
up.
Why is it a
I'm
wiki
Diva.
how link?
here's the thing. Yeah, no, hold on.
Okay.
I looked it up.
Uh-huh.
I Googled that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That is debunking. They debunked it. I'm your Huckleberry is a slang phrase that dates back to the 1800s. And it basically says, I'm your guy. I'm the one for the job. I can do the job. It's not Hucklebearer. That's it. Doc Holliday says Huckleberry. He wrote a book that says, I'm your Huckleberry.
Doc Holliday wrote a book?
No. Val Kilmer wrote a
That would
book.
be really
Well,
funny.
you didn't say that name until right now.
Yeah, no,
Doc Holliday wrote a book?
Val Kilmer wrote a book?
Yeah.
It says, I'm your Huckleberry has nothing to do with Hucklebearers. Contrary to popular belief, the famous Western phrase isn't about huckles, which are the handles on a casket. So a Hucklebearer would be a pallbearer.
Right.
This rumor stems from Doc Holliday's line in Tombstone. As many movie watchers misheard the phrase, I'm your Huckleberry, for I'm your Hucklebearer. The original screenplay of Tombstone reads Huckleberry, not Hucklebearer.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to need you to say well really before you answer.
Well,
From Phil splaining to phrase splaining. Yeah, we got all the splaining here.
it's all good. We'll continue on splaining, Jen, because you're next.
Oh, am I? Oh, hey, from over-explaining I'm your Huckleberry to time for some close-up magic news. How's that for a smooth transition?
I like it.
Now You See Me, the Now You See Me franchise has picked the right card. Oh, clever. And is moving forward with the planned third film, as well as the newly announced Now You See Me 4. Okay, so there are 4 of them. Does that mean they're stopping after 4? That is what I would like. I have seen the other 2. I love these things. I'm a secret.
Well, there's 52
magician
cards in a
code.
deck, so
Oh,
gotta wait.
We have 52
oh my
movies.
gosh. Well, it's all about family. The third
Family.
film now has an official title, which is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Maybe they all go to the proctologist. Now You See the Now You See Me franchise has taken in $687. I mean, million worldwide.
$87.
Oh, I am chaos incarnate tonight, guys. Sorry. The announcement was made from the Cinemacon stage.
Ooh.
This is a new thing for me. I hadn't ever heard of Cinemacon, but we'll talk about that later.
CinemaCon is it's a little tiny little con that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Really? And
Come
so everybody just went, ha ha, guess what? We're gonna promote, bitch.
Yeah, it said,
I
you want to
mean,
promote?
seriously.
CinemaCon said, I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh, there you go. Not Huckleberry.
Huckleberry. Oh no.
Okay, so and the third film will be helmed by Ruben Fleischer. Now You See Me, Now You Don't will appear or not appear in theaters November 14th of 2025. Oh my gosh. They really are doing a hat trick here.
Wow, that's fast.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet there's not a lot of CGI in the magic because it's like real magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Do
magic,
you think
like
Madison will do like a
There it
cameo
is.
in it?
There it is.
Madison's 100% in this movie.
Oh yeah.
They better get her. I'll be
I like
Patty
it.
Guggenheim's agent for this. Give me my. You know what? I'll take 1%. I won't even take 10%. I'll take 1%. Get Patty in this film.
I like those films.
Yeah.
I do
They're
too.
good. They're good. They're very odd, but they're good.
There's a magic about them.
I secretly love magic.
Mm-hmm.
I love magic. I started
Close-up
watching.
magic.
Yeah.
I started watching that that Don't Try This at Home show
Oh yeah.
David Blaine.
with David Blaine, and it's like him learning like different tricks from different people around the world. And like the first episode is Brazil, and there's like a dude who puts like a whole knife in his nose, and then David Blaine puts the knife in his nose, and it's like, whoa.
That doesn't seem sanitary.
No.
That wasn't the same knife, but like he also like he does the trick and has an X-ray done, and like the blade of the knife is like stopping short of hitting him in the brain.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Just
kind of
tickling.
magic I feel like is torturing.
Yeah.
It's torturing.
Damn
magic.
DeLongs, you took my joke. I was gonna make that joke.
I love magic. And so does Husby. Husby has this thing. He's like, he loves Penn and Teller and that, try to, what's the thing? Is it can you fool Penn and Teller or something like that? Fool us. Yeah. He loves that. Loves that.
Fool Us was like one of my favorite shows for the
Yeah.
longest time.
Yeah.
I also love Penn and Teller. I saw
And more than Teller, because
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's funny is Penn Jillette's the voice, but Teller's the one that makes all that like actually creates all the tricks.
Yeah.
Teller does actually talk when he's on like podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, his voice is surprisingly deeper than I thought it was going to be.
Right? Yeah, you see this little guy and you're like, he's gonna have a voice like this, and he's like, "How you doing, baby?"
You don't expect Teller to have that deep of a voice, but like, no, he finally started talking like in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think it was time. It was time.
Well, he said like the whole shtick for the longest time was him not talking, was part of the show and everything like that, and then now it's like, well, there's no point. Like we're winding down and we're getting to that point where we're going to retire soon. So like, why not?
Oh, definitely. He's always been so like expressive with his face.
Yeah.
Teller, that he didn't have to talk a lot, and it just made him seem like he was cleaning up all of Penn's messes and stuff. It was a good bit. They had a good shtick.
Yeah, that was fun.
I have a picture with Penn Jillette, because I straight up told him like, you're the reason I like got into libertarianism, which we're not going to get into politics, but I mean like that's
Isn't he a famous like atheist?
He is an atheist.
Yeah. We're not going to get into religion either.
No, we're not going to get into religion. Okay, so next we need to talk about sex, and then
Yeah, no. Well, the next thing we're going to do here is move on to the next story.
All right, so from magic to
stealing my story
to sci-fi, we'll go.
Spinoffs.
Do it! Come on! Do it now!
Following the debut of the first footage of Predator Badlands at Cinemacon, Disney and the 20th Century Studios have released the logo for the film along with an official plot summary. So we've got synopsis if you guys want to give me a tee up here.
Oh, there's something out there waiting for us.
And it ain't no manopsis. Run! Go! Get the chopper! Synopsis.
There's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man. Opsis. Run! Go! Get to the chopper! Opsis! You did that specifically because you wanted me to do that, right?
Yeah, I knew you'd get lost after, but you're like, where am I?
I
What
figured-
part am I
love
saying?
Get to the chopper! Okay, the newest entry of the Predator franchise is set in a future on the remote planet where a young predator outcast from his clan finds an unlikely ally and embarks on a treacherous journey in search of the ultimate adversary.
Ooh, emo predator. Okay, all right.
The hunt begins when Predator Badlands opens in theaters on November 7th, 2025.
Ooh.
Is
Reminds me
this-
of Teenager Groot. I am Groot.
Oh, something about that, right? That guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this the one with Elf Annie?
Yes.
I believe
Okay,
so, yes.
it is.
This one's
Something-
also supposed to be like they're supposed to show like different parts around like time of like predators fighting different kind of like in different eras.
Oh, okay.
So you like,
Wait, I
like
think that's
throughout.
fighting a Viking, it's supposed to be predators fighting samurai, all that kind of stuff, like the kind of thing that we've been kind of asking for a while. They're doing
Well, hey, hold on. I think there's two projects. There's Badlands,
Hmm.
but then I think what you're talking about is the anime
Right.
that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be a bunch of shorts.
Like Kill or Be Killed or something like To Kill
Yeah.
It. I don't know. But yeah, we saw a trailer for that.
Mhm.
Husby and I were looking at that today, and it looks so cool.
Yeah, I'm excited
The
for all of it.
samurai part looks freaking awesome. All right.
There's
go ahead.
it's funny how like this month there is just all of this samurai stuff that's coming out right now. Like everybody is like stuck on Japanese culture right now,
I
Yeah.
mean, who wouldn't be? They have amazing food.
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
That cracked me up, Jen, on Monday. Every time I was running around any of these castles, she's like, "So are you getting sushi or what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, oh, have you eaten? Do you need some sushi?
Are you gonna get some
Every
sushi, young
time.
Phil? Because you're running around Japan right now."
Oh, so Husby and I were both on there, and we were in the same room watching the same stream, and he's texting, and I'm texting, and I said, we really shouldn't do this because we're just gonna feed off each other, and he's just gonna feel so bad about it.
No, that's so much better. Like that just makes the chat so much more lively. I'm so open to that.
When he called you the okayest ninja,
Okay, is ninja.
that was hilarious. I was just like, oh my god. So yeah, it was funny.
I actually got through a good amount of the story on Monday, and like by the end of it, I was actually able to like hold my own more fights.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like I
I
should
could
stop.
tell from the stream I saw when you first started, and then
Mhm.
this one, you had so many more moves. I was very impressed.
Yeah, there's so much. Like the problem with trying to play the game the way I want to play it is I just want to get in every fight, but it's like I'm kind of trash at the beginning, so she just gets her
Yeah.
ass kicked. But then like the more I start upgrading her weapons and her armor and everything like that, like I'm going in there and just like one slashing people. I'm like, okay, I just need to like
Right.
focus on upgrading my character more.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like we really went off
We did.
on
So
a
to do.
tangent. Because I don't think Badlands has anything to do with any of that. But it's going to be in theaters on November 7th of 2025, y'all.
Yeah, that's right. Should do. Let's continue.
All right. The training wheels are coming off this franchise. How to Train Your Dragon will fly into theaters June 13th, but the studio clearly feels confident about it. So confident that they've already announced a sequel. During Universal's presentation at Cinemacon, filmmaker Dean DeBlois,
The boy.
who directed
The block.
DeBlois.
DeBlois.
The
Who
boy.
directed and co-wrote the beloved animated trilogy, is now leading the charge on the live-action remake. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is set to fly into theaters on June 11th of 2027.
You could have done that. You set to hiccup. It's fine.
I'm off live action versions of of beloved animated.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
don't.
but I also love a good dragon.
Yeah. It didn't need to Yeah, we should have never started doing live action remakes of these things. I understand why, money,
Mm-hmm.
but we just it's no, it's not a good idea. If you're going to make sequels, make decent animated sequels, or just new ideas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, supposedly,
Perhaps.
there's been a couple people who have gotten early screenings of How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's really good. Like they're saying that it's not exactly like the animated movie.
Okay.
That there are differences between the animated movie. Like the trailer, they decided, okay, well, we're gonna take whatever shot for shot things we did from the animated movie and put those in the trailer.
Right.
But the movie, like plot wise and kind of like the way that they tell the story is very different from the animated one, which makes it different. So that's why I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I kind of like the idea of this.
I see.
So-
I get what you're saying about the live action stuff because I went and saw Snow White. That being said,
You
I-
went and saw Snow White.
I
I'm sorry,
did,
James, no,
and
no,
I'll
James.
admit it.
Hold on. If we do a top 5 movies of 2025 at the end of this, Snow White better not be on there like Madame Web was, okay?
Well, I
Let's
mean,
just-
we're
let's just
in
make a deal
it's
here.
beginning of April. It's in my top 5.
I'm just saying.
I've
Just
actually heard
saying.
good things about Snow White generally too.
But okay,
Eh.
back to How to Train Your Dragon. I think this story is a good adaptation into live action, just because you get a little bit more drama, seeing real people having to fight these dragons or whatever it is. So I think this is kind of like Game of Thrones for like kids. You know,
It
I'm
is.
into it.
No, you're right. It absolutely is.
I
And
understand that.
I'm pro dragon.
Exactly. My argument here is, I guess it isn't necessarily we shouldn't be doing live action, like we shouldn't be doing remakes. If we're gonna do something, do it in the same universe. Because we've already had the story of this in a form that people adored, right? And so, do something live action that's a completely different story with a different character and different all that, but it's in the same universe.
Yeah, I'm not against that. I've been
Yeah.
kind of saying for a while that I know a lot of movies should just do things that are in universe.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but Say Wong talking about Minecraft. We're going to talk about that here in a
Yes,
minute.
we are going to get to that.
I've
There's a whole thing.
got a whole opinion of this. So
Yeah.
We have so many blocks for it. Just
Real quick.
block after block built on top of each other to make something.
I'm the only Minecraft person here, so
Real quick, Matt in the chat says, I really want to see Snow White. I had a few people see it and they really enjoyed it. It's going to be one of those movies where it's like, this is not for us as adults or anybody that grew up on Disney. This is for a new generation.
Right.
And if you
Yeah.
go into it with that, knowing that like, hey, this is an adaptation, it's for little kids, and they're going to mix in some musical type big stage play number type Hamilton things, it'll be fine. You're going to enjoy it.
yeah, I've also heard everybody loves the one thing that everybody thought they were going to hate. That the dwarves are like the best part of the movie.
I
Oh,
see.
that's
Okay,
cool.
well that's good.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Okay.
Great.
I wouldn't mind. I loved the original. I'm just kind of off live action. I've been off like live action things. I don't know why. I don't honestly have no reason. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the next story here. Is this
know
me?
that
It is
guy.
me.
That's your
Now, How to Train Your Director. David Fincher is set to direct a sequel to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Brad Pitt is back as Cliff Booth, and the script is being written by Tarantino himself. This is
Wow.
for real. This is not a joke.
This
Okay.
seems like such clickbait.
It does.
No, actually, this kind of is a big deal.
Yeah.
Fincher stepping behind the camera to direct a Tarantino script is exciting, and it's happening fast. The project is being fast-tracked by Netflix, and it will begin shooting this summer in California. The film has a reported budget of $200 million. Fincher has cleared his schedule, setting aside other active projects, including his Squid Game spinoff. That's right, he was doing a Squid Game show.
Hmm.
Okay.
They're doing David Fincher is doing a American version of Squid Game, which we really didn't need, but sure. For Pitt,
so what is it, like Octopus Activities?
As for Pitt, he reportedly gets first dibs on every Fincher project. He obviously wanted in on this one and wanted to reprise his role as Cliff Booth. There's no official title yet. I mean, aside from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Part 2. But sources say Netflix paid over $200 million for the screenplay alone. It's a big deal because Tarantino said he's only doing 10 films. Obviously, he wanted to do another Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but didn't feel like it was high enough on his list of movies that he wanted to put on his, 10 movies list. And David Fincher's coming in, who has really good directorial sensibilities. At least for the most part, and is going to be directing a Quentin Tarantino script. So, I mean, like 10 movies directed by Tarantino doesn't necessarily mean that he can't write movies, I guess.
Right, exactly.
Right, yeah, no, absolutely. And
I'm into this.
Is a good, would be a good like person to pilot a movie by Tarantino, I think.
Yeah, and this also makes me wonder about like all the movies that everybody heard that Tarantino was developing, and now I was like, okay, well, I'm only making one more movie, so I'm not going to do that. Like if somebody else takes the helm for those movies that he's been wanting to do, so like, who's to say that the director of John Wick doesn't do,
the sequel to Pulp Fiction?
No, not Pulp Fiction.
The Django.
Kill Bill 3.
Oh, yeah.
And you do a whole movie about, we talked about this in the past, about Black Mamba's daughter going after the bride.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I think
there are a lot of possibilities. But there's something I want to do that's slightly off topic, but does concern Brad Pitt.
Okay.
I feel like Brad Pitt needs to do the biopic for Robert Redford's life.
He 100% looks like looks like Robert Redford. He does.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah. And I've been saying that, and I've also said that Pedro Pascal needs to do the Burt Reynolds biopic. So, I mean, he looked like in Kingsman and the Golden Circle, or Kingsman the Golden Circle. When he plays the cowboy. He looks so much like Burt Reynolds in that movie. And I'm like, dude needs to be in the Burt Reynolds biopic. I don't even know if it's going to happen. I don't know
what's funny?
It's going to happen, but
what's funny? I was watching Smokey and the Bandit the other day.
Really?
And I told.
What are you doing? You're watching Smokey and the Bandit on a random Tuesday?
Because Jackie's mom was watching it, so I walked in the room and we watched it. But but I look over at Jackie and I was like, Pedro Pascal needs to play Burt Reynolds.
Oh my god!
I was like, just like I'm looking at, like, if they ever did another Smokey and the Bandit, like, tell me you're not looking at Burt Reynolds right now and you can't see Pedro Pascal playing him.
Right? I think I have like something on Facebook from years ago in the before times where I'm like, this dude needs to play Burt Reynolds. So there.
The big hat. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's a big hat.
Of people playing other people in biopics.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I didn't realize I did this. No, you're fine. The visual, I didn't realize I erased the visual for the Beatles one.
Okay, that's okay.
I was using it as a template, and I guess I apparently erased it. So
we can just stare at Brad Pitt for longer.
We can stare at Brad Pitt while you're talking about the Beatles.
All right. 4 movies made in the dead of night.
The
Sony panel.
In the dead of night. Oh, sorry.
The Sony panel at Cinemacon did not disappoint. I'm looking at you.
Cinemacon, the con that nobody knows about,
right?
Yeah. One of those projects was the feature film The Beatles. Wait, have you guys just been giving me crap this whole time? You have, haven't you? Oh my god.
No, if you go back long enough on the show, there was an episode where I basically give James shit because I'm like, Cinemacon is like a shitty little con nobody's ever heard of. Why would they announce so many things on this? And then like a week later, I find out it's like one of the biggest movie cons in existence.
I just hadn't heard of it, so it's a secretive one, I guess. I don't know, or I'm just dumb.
So it's you have to own a movie theater to go to Cinemacon.
Oh.
Oh,
That
well,
kinda stupid, okay.
something to add to my achievements to unlock list.
That means Kevin Smith can go to those now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, he can. Oh, other side of the table, people. All right. So let's get back into this. People. All right. So we're not getting only one film for this Beatle biopic. We're not getting one. We're getting 4. Right, from the perspective of each band member. There should be a 5th one, really, because they did have a 5th band member. Maybe make it a short film. I don't know.
He only goes to the part where they get famous and they just drop
They're
his.
like, hey, this is
And it's
Pete's
just like
best
in
thing.
suddenly.
And then the end of it is like him, like 20 years later, working at a factory or something. Anyway, we're not only getting one film, we're getting 4 films from the perspective of each of the band members. Also, all 4 films will be released in April of 2028.
Whoa.
Okay, before we move on, they're all going to be released April 2028. Which one do you think is going to make more money?
Definitely
Paul McCartney.
not Ringo.
Definitely not Ringo.
I would argue John Lennon would probably make the
Ooh,
most.
no, that's a good point.
Okay,
sorry, I just like Paul
let's
McCartney a
let's
lot,
talk
so.
about who each Beatle's going to be, okay? Because
right.
this may impact how much each one makes. Because I mean, yeah, the John Lennon one, for the people that are huge Beatles fan, that's probably going to be the one that they go to. But you know, who's playing John Lennon? So here we go. So the full cast was confirmed. So Paul McCartney will be played by Paul Mescal. He was in Gladiator too, people.
Right.
He's a big Jahmez, like smoochy moochy, but I don't know where that came from.
Do they cover Paul dying and being replaced by another Paul McCartney?
Right, exactly.
Yes, they do. And it's going to be played not by Paul Mescal. It's going to be played by Benson Boone, who looks almost exactly like him.
You're so right.
They look so much alike.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So John Lennon will be played by Harris Dickinson. I don't know who this guy is.
I think I've heard of him.
The name's familiar. I know I've seen him something else.
I think he's like the tallest one of all of them. And like, you know, in the picture that doesn't exist. And his name sounds familiar.
I can see it.
What's he in?
He was in Iron Claw.
Oh, Iron Claw. Was he the youngest brother?
He's the youngest brother.
Okay. All right. That's what it was. Then I saw it. That's where I've seen him before. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
bunch of stuff.
So because like we were all like, oh, you know, but we didn't really know like a lot of the stuff he's been in. Whereas Paul Mescal, we did. The Paul McCartney. Oh, and they're both named Paul. That's weird. That one might make.
And they're both named Paul.
Yeah, that's so good. You did that so well. George Harrison will be played by Joseph Quinn. Now, Joseph Quinn is going to be in the Fantastic Four. So his may actually make more money too. And then Ringo Starr will be played by Barry Keoghan. So that's all of the emo girls and all of the emo boys and the Irish people will go see that one.
The Irish people.
So
the entire country of Ireland.
Yes.
We'll go
the
see
entire
that movie.
country of Ireland.
Like they're all going to see this movie because
doing.
Barry Keoghan is just amazing.
Yeah.
He is an Irish treasure.
He's an Irish treasure.
Paul Mescal is also Irish, I believe. So it's not like.
And they're all playing Welshmen. It's fine.
It's fantastic. So yeah, Sony Pictures Entertainment, Neil Street Pictures, and Apple Corps that's so funny, are producing the films. And
Apple Corps?
The first time Apple, who handles the Beatles rights, has ever granted the life story and music rights for a scripted feature film, let alone 4. All premiering on the same day. It's gonna cause another Beatles craze. That's all I can say.
We're having Beatles Mania all over again.
Can you imagine trying to cut this movie together and do like, because there's going to be 4 shots every single time.
Right.
But then what do you choose? Because it's not like it's point of view all the time. You got to keep switching. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm sure what they did was they filmed every scene. Like they probably did like 1,000 takes and at like different angles and everything like that. Like,
yeah. I do wonder if the script is going to be different between each of them in terms of like even the scenes we see with all of them in it, in terms of different people's interpretations of what happened in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be kind of cool.
It's really interesting. I think maybe they're just like GoProing all of it. Like they just have GoPros on like their
GoPros,
and they're just like filming each other.
Ringo, what's on your chest? It looks like a mini camera.
And Apple's just like, oh, we'll just create mini GoPros.
it's the 1960s. It's not a camera.
It looks like some kind of recording
it's a
device.
Little alien. On my chest.
It's still the 1960s. We don't have
like a portable amp for my guitar.
It's alien technology.
Little tiny like spy cameras from all the James Bond movies on their ties and stuff, and it's just all found footage. It's found footage.
Found footage.
A found footage Beatles movie. It's like fucking Yellow Submarine all over again.
Okay, I would watch that. I would definitely watch that.
No, it's more like what's it? Lonely Sergeant Pepper's.
Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club.
Right.
Oh man! All right, we need to move on.
I was gonna say we went down that beetle hole there for a little bit.
Whoa. Okay.
So SHDU, you're probably gonna get excited about this. I'm going to tear this one apart.
Oh well, I probably will too. So, Warner Brothers is getting crafty with its movies. Good lord. Ahead of release, Warner Brothers and Legendary were anticipating a Minecraft movie to do a respectable $70 to $80 million. A Minecraft movie mined its way through expectations with a staggering $157 million domestic debut, becoming the highest, becoming the biggest opening of the year and the highest grossing start ever for a video game adaptation. Warner Brothers partnered with over 45 brands, including McDonald's, Doritos, Oreos, Poppy Soda, Poppy Soda?
Yeah, it's like a probiotic soda.
Whatever. To ensure the film was unavoidable, unfortunately. The film had a $150 million production budget, not including marketing, and another $144 million from international territories, and Minecraft's global launch hit $301 million. So, which makes a Minecraft movie a blockbuster.
That was a really good delivery.
So is anyone here actually going to see this movie?
The writing here is great. I'm going to give the writers a round of applause.
For the record, I did change the mind thing. That was not original.
Yeah.
That was me.
But I'm giving the writers a round of applause. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, James. Every time you guys write. But here's the thing. Every single person that I have seen review this movie has said, yes, it's made a lot of money. It is garbage.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Everybody has said it is meant for kids. It is a kids movie. Yep. Keep that in mind. It is designed for children, but there is no plot to it. The story makes no sense. The acting is... They said that Jack Black and Jason Momoa both kind of phone in their performances.
Fair.
They're saying the only reason it's making as much money as it's making is because there are a lot of fanboys for Minecraft that are like, we need to go watch this movie 2 or 3 times to make like a huge opening, but at the same time,
right? And there's a lot of it's kind of
like there's a scene where like I'm seeing like on TikTok, like people are like putting up videos of this is like an Avengers level event, right? And it's very obvious that people are generating excitement for absolutely nothing. When I say that, when I say that, I mean like there are people standing up and applauding before anything even happens.
Yeah,
exactly. It's yeah. I
You know,
have
and it's
heard that it
supposed
is
to be like,
basically a movie of Jack Black explaining things.
yeah. You know, again, our friends over at Geek Freaks actually did a review of this movie, and Frank kind of tore it apart, and he usually doesn't tear things apart that bad.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, it's okay. They can put it back together. It's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
he
that's
talked about,
again, that's easier said than done. Still,
Well, like one of the weird things that they did was apparently like Jack Black plays Steve,
right?
Yeah.
Which is always questionable.
and they're saying like, you know, it's what's weird about it is in the game Steve is a denizen of the world,
right.
but they decided to make Steve the only character that is a part of that world that is not a character in that world. So it's like it's just already off-putting.
Yeah,
Mm.
it seems like a confusing thing. It's just there were a lot of questionable decisions going into this.
Yeah, you know, they
Yeah.
said that there's just a lot in this movie, and basically every other character is forgettable.
Mm.
Now it did go through. I don't know how many years they've been trying to make this damn movie.
That's the other
It's
thing
been
that
a
they're talking
long time.
That's the other thing they were talking about is like for all of the development and all of everything they did in this movie, like there's no reason that it should have turned out the way that it did.
Well, I mean,
But it's making a bunch of money, so that means that Sony
Right.
and Warner Brothers are not going to get the right
it's going to be a Morbius situation here.
right. Well,
Yeah.
they're not going to get the right lesson from it, and what they're going to end up doing is that this movie's going to get greenlit for like 2 or 3 sequels.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, it actually, I think maybe it being in development hell for so long may have contributed to why it's so subpar, let's say.
But you still play, right? You played. The
Oh, yeah,
game,
no,
so-
this has nothing to do with it. It's just. You know,
Like the majority of people who I've been seeing give bad reviews to it are a combination of movie reviewers, but at the same time, people who play Minecraft. I've seen a
Yeah,
lot
exactly.
of people who play Minecraft that
A
have
lot of
just
people-
tore this
yeah,
movie
I've-
apart.
seen, YouTube people or whatever who are like, yeah, it's kind of a bad movie. It's like fun bad, but it's bad. It's a really bad movie.
Yeah.
James, are you?
Frank literally said this is the worst reviewed movie. He gave it a 3 out of 10. And he said this is the worst reviewed movie that he's done since like 2020 or like since like 2013 or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
James, are you gonna go see it?
I saw it today. I'm just kidding. No,
And it is his his number one movie of 2025.
Exactly.
So far.
no, the kids have been talking about it, but I think I was reading it. There's not a lot out there for kids right now, whether it's in theaters or on streaming. The stuff that's been hitting has been
That's
out
a
already.
good
Like,
point. And that may be
Mufasa-
contributing to this, actually. Yeah.
yeah, Mufasa just came out, but like if you wanted to see Mufasa, you probably saw it already.
Yeah.
In theaters,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or you watched it and you're like, okay, well, that was Thursday. Now what am I going to do on Friday and Saturday? I got to keep these kids entertained. I better go take them to see Minecraft. It's like the only thing that's out there for that demographic right now, and it's something you can take, your adults to, kids to,
Yeah.
that sort of thing,
Right.
wholesome sort of thing. I think it's just
I think
perfect
that's
storm.
what's I think that's
Momoa
what's making it
stands
so much money.
too.
Okay.
Black stands too.
Black
you know.
stands. I feel like maybe we shouldn't say black stands.
I think that with the amount of, or I think what's making so much money on this movie is that it is a kids movie, and the demographic,
Yeah.
like your kids who play Minecraft are going to be begging to go see this movie, and
Oh,
every
yeah.
kid in
Yeah.
the fucking country plays Minecraft.
Yeah. Whether it's
Right.
good or not, they just want to go see it
lots.
because they
Exactly,
connect
and
to it.
that's part of it. It's like the Mario movie or whatever, which
Yeah.
I've heard was
The
not
Mario
that
movie
bad.
was good. The Mario
Exactly.
movie was good.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm saying
what-
it's the
To
same kind of
watch
thing,
that.
regardless of that.
So
Yeah,
this is
that's-
the
yeah.
highest grossing start ever for a video game adaptation. So this has beaten Mario out
I
of
mean,
the
yeah,
gate.
and we also have to keep in
Beating
mind,
Mario and Sonic, which Sonic is actually a good series.
Yeah, we do have to keep in mind Minecraft is the highest selling video game ever, so that does also contribute to this.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's because you have like bills and life to worry about.
Whoa, hold on a
You
second.
you don't worry about.
I
Minecraft.
don't get it. I played it for a little while. I played it with SHDU when he was young,
Yeah.
and I didn't get it then. I don't get it now.
Does anybody else have any more comments before we move on? Because we don't
You
want
It
know
would take
who
an
I'd
entire
like to
stream to
see-
explain
Wait.
this. So
Wait. In the most recent Sonic movie,
Mhm.
Keanu Reeves is in that, right?
Yes,
Who does he play?
he plays Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
or Hedgehog.
Is that reminiscent of his John Wick character?
I love you and your transitions. This is so good. I knew you were going for it as soon as you said, wait. So the latest Sonic movie has Keanu Reeves. Like, oh, she's doing a John Wick transition. All right. I love it. Well, let's let's get into that transition. We got a trilogy of John Wick news stories. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. The John Wick universe is about to expand in a new direction with an animated film. Lionsgate announced at Cinemacon, so much at Cinemacon, that they're developing an animated
Never heard of
prequel. Cinemacon. Developing an animated prequel film that will dive into the story fans have been dying to see, the legendary Impossible Task. Cinemacon. It will tell the story of the night John Wick wiped out all his rivals in one fell swoop to leave the assassin's life behind and be with his wife, Helen. Keanu Reeves is expected to return to voice his iconic character. No release date has been put into the chamber for when we.
Is that a big thing? The Impossible Task?
The Impossible Task is basically like the entire series predicates itself on that, aside from his dog being killed. But like what makes everybody afraid of John Wick, you know, aside from that, he kills everybody like with brutal efficiency. But what like scares the entire underworld about John Wick is the Impossible Task. So
That's
they
how he got out.
It's how he got out, right? It's how he got out of the assassin game. I forget his name, but the Russian mob boss in the first movie explains or kind of just talks about like I gave him an impossible task and he achieved it.
Yeah.
And then the second movie, they kind of explain the impossible task that he was given was he had to kill the heads of 5 different mafias. Which means he had to go through and kill a crap ton of people to get to each of these bosses in one night.
Right.
And that's what scares everybody. Well, it's basically what put the Russian mob on top, but also what scares everybody about the Baba Yagas because he's this guy that was able to get this task done. You know, and like because of his again brutal efficiency and the way he kills people, like everyone is just afraid of him. Like, oh my God, we don't want this guy to come after us because he took out 5 different mobs in one night.
Right.
So
Interesting.
I have a question about Keanu Reeves.
Mhm.
What's the Star Wars character everybody wants him to play?
Revan?
Darth Revan.
Darth Revan.
I like how we were just there.
Well, no, I think he would be a good Darth Revan, but if he keeps making John Wick movies, then he will never be Revan.
No,
Yeah,
I think,
and
I
we've
think
got a
the
story about that
character-
upcoming too. So
Yeah, I do think the character of Revan though is kind like vaguely reminiscent of John Wick to a certain degree, at least the Sith
Yeah.
persona. So
Yeah, I could see that. I'm just saying that, you know, look, you either spend your life not in a Star Wars movie or you achieve your ultimate dream. That's all
And-
I'm saying.
The
Well, I
ultimate
have
dream, the ultimate dream is to be, I'm one with the Wick, and the Wick is with me.
I see,
Yeah?
I see what
I
you're
see.
Donnie
doing. I see what
Yen,
you're doing.
Donnie Yen is stepping behind the camera for the next act in the John Wick universe. Lionsgate announced that Cinemacon that Yen is set to reprise his role as the blind assassin from John Wick Chapter 4 and will also direct the upcoming spin-off centered on his character. Save some roles for the rest of us, Donnie
Yeah.
Yen. Come on. This
Cinnabon.
untitled film will mark a stylistic shift for the franchise that will embrace the DNA of a classic Hong Kong action cinema. Okay, that's
It's hard boiled, but like brought to the modern day.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
like it.
The project is being written by the Batman Part 2 co-writer Matt Santomlin, who is also scripting the live action adaptation of Keanu Reeves' comic Berserker.
Oh, wait. Don't.
Our love for you is ticking clock, Berserker.
Production is set to kick off later this year.
Y'all are silly.
This is gonna be good. Donnie Yen's character is awesome. This is the second blind character that Donnie Yen has played.
I was about to say, is Donnie Yen actually blind?
No, but he plays Root too, and it's funny
Plays
that
a lot of blind characters.
well, because Donnie Yen also before getting
Could
into
have been Daredevil.
Yeah.
he could have been.
Yeah.
Before
Wow.
getting into all the action roles that he's in now, like when he was in the Hong Kong scene, he mostly played like monks.
Yeah. Well, I
You
mean,
know,
yeah.
so-
His Star Wars character is a monk, so
Yeah, so like a lot of them, what they're doing with Donnie Yen is they're kind of playing on that, like, oh yeah, he played a monk, and we can make him a blind character and he'll be badass.
right.
Right.
That's fair.
Oh my gosh. That's just
So like
hilarious.
Star Wars and John Wick decided, oh yeah, we're just gonna make him blind. He's gonna be a
Right.
blind, non-Jedi, force sensitive dude.
Yeah.
Because Chirrut was badass. I don't care what anybody
yeah.
says. That dude was
Sure,
sick.
yeah.
sure, it was my favorite character in Rogue
Yeah.
One. So
And then Kane. We used Kane at the end of our Deadpool versus John Wick movie. Yeah, he wasn't
Oh.
on screen, but we like make a joke about John Wick calling Kane. And he's like, Deadpool's like, who's that? And he's like, my blind friend. And he's like, wait, he's a blind guy that can fight. And he's like, yeah. So then I call Daredevil and I go, hey Matt, this blind guy says he can kick your ass. He's on that.
Hey, you guys should do that one next.
I know, right? So then, oh my God, Daredevil versus Kane would be
Daredevil
dope.
v. Kane.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you have like
Battle of the Blind.
Deadpool and John Wick like eating popcorn.
Just eating popcorn in
watching
the studio.
I kind of already thought about like once we start writing, because we haven't started writing the second movie, but once we start writing the second movie, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a scene where I want to write a scene where there's like I want to have like an actual like stuntman come in to do a fight scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then have my character be like, all right, hold on, tagging in the stuntman, and then have a scene with me eating popcorn while he's fighting.
Yeah. No,
That would
that's
be great.
Because it's such a
Deadpool.
Deadpool meta joke.
Yo,
So,
yeah. That's great. I am ready for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, rounding out all this John Wick trilogy news, Lionsgate also confirmed at Cinemacon that John Wick Chapter 5 is happening. And yes, Keanu Reeves is coming back from the dead.
Woo.
Also back are director Chad Stileski and producers Basil Awanyik and Erica Lee, keeping the original team locked and loaded.
Woo.
John Wick Chapter 4 hauled in over 440 million worldwide, and each film has managed to outperform the one before it, which is a rare feat. The entire franchise has cracked the $1 billion mark globally, and with spin-offs like Ballerina out on June 6th and the new TV series John Wick Under the High Table in development, this universe is nowhere near running on empty. So guys, are you excited for John Wick, the John Wickiverse? I guess that's what we're gonna call it, the Wikiverse, the John
The
Wickiverse,
Wicca.
Wickiverse to keep going.
Wow.
Sure.
Okay,
Why
so
not?
this contributes to my theory that we're going to get a gender ambiguous Revan.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be Keanu Reeves. I was trying to say that earlier. My preferred theory is that we don't reveal who Revan necessarily is. Like they keep
Oh,
the mask
Revan
on the
stays
entire
in the
time.
mask and everything.
Revan
Oh,
stays in the mask
like
because
Talia.
I don't think you want to. Yeah, because I don't think you want to mess with. I don't know. I feel like it's just a mistake that Legends made to canonize who Revan was.
Yeah.
You can still have Keanu Reeves play Revan, at least do the voice, because remember Revan's mask had a voice changer.
No,
on it.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you can still have Keanu Reeves do the voice, but the actual person under it, I think it should kind of just stay ambiguous.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but
I want to know what the like the brainstorm in the writers' room is for these John Wick movies.
Right.
Like
Okay,
when
so how can we make Keanu Reeves look really cool?
yeah, Keanu just walks in. They're in there for hours, and he's like, "We got the script. We're good." He's like, "I don't want to be dead anymore. I want to come back." Wait, we just killed you off in the last 2 movies. No, I want to be back in it.
I don't think it's Keanu that's making that
Okay.
call. I think it's the writers that are like, we need to make another art. No, I think that it's Lionsgate saying we don't make money on movies anymore, and John Wick makes us a shit ton of money. So
Right.
we need you to write John Wick alive again.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Clearly,
sure
by the picture, it looks like they're gonna do John Wick Miami Vice.
it looks like it, right? I
Wick.
think what's going on is I think it's Lionsgate saying they need more money out of this franchise and they don't want it to end, and told the writers like find a way to bring him back. And they're doing that.
Right.
And I think Keanu is just like, okay, well, whatever we got to do. I mean, I enjoyed playing this character as long as it
Yeah,
makes
I mean, he seems to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So.
The other thing is, again, as long as it makes sense. I do not want John Wick to become Saw, where there's like 32 movies and no one cares anymore.
True.
Yeah. No. In the next one, he's going to come back with a slightly chubbier Deadpool.
Yeah. Our movie's gonna become. It's gonna be fine.
Yes. Your movie is it's the bridge movie between 4 and 5.
The bridge movie.
Yeah.
There you go.
You just made me think of my favorite line in our movie, and I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and
Okay.
Oh, right, it's me.
Yeah.
Oh my gods. Apple's marketing a TV show? Actor Jason Momoa from Aquaman Sea, and of course his most famous role, Minecraft. His upcoming historical epic, Chief of War, has set its premiere date at Apple TV Plus. Based on true events, the 9-episode series, quote, follows warrior Kaiana, there we go, played by Momoa, as he tries to unify the islands before Western colonization in the 18th century. The drama series will debut its first 2 episodes on August 1st, with new episodes dropping weekly thereafter through September 19th.
I think
I'm gonna
he
watch
only did this because he wanted to wear that hat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's traditional Hawaiian garb right there, especially for
That
warriors.
is
This
a
sounds
whack
really cool.
hat.
I do it too for that hat.
Yeah. And
This
that-
sounds
and the
really, really
necklace.
cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know much about like Polynesian history and things like that. This sounds really cool.
Do you think he'll have Tamara Morrison be in it?
As his dad.
Tamora Morrison plays his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I think he actually might be. Now I'm thinking about it.
Oh
I
my
thought I
God,
saw
really
something.
funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
this
he's in
this guy back here right behind Momoa is Tamara Morrison, of course. So
It's the guy that he's passing right there with the other
right,
cool.
yeah.
Morrison.
It's the guy he's passing, yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. It looks cool. I love
does.
stuff like this.
Look at that.
so-
Like
Yeah.
you're looking at his hat. You don't even realize like he's not wearing underwear. You're like, look at that hat.
I already know he doesn't wear underwear.
To me,
he says that all the
this-
time on talk shows.
To me, this sounds like a Polynesian shogun, which is what I hope it is.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
With surfing. I mean, not surfing.
Well, what can he say
I-
except you're welcome?
What?
Because that's definitely Hawaiian. If you look at if you look at like the hat specifically say Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tamora Morrison is in this. He's gonna play the King of Maui.
Ooh,
Ah.
Oh,
that's
nice.
cool. So he's going to sing the song then.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Speaking of singing songs,
Disney's live action plans are getting tangled.
Oh.
Oh.
Disney has decided to press pause on pre-production on the studio's live action adaptation of Tangled for the time being, following the disappointing box office numbers for the live action Snow White. Disney is reassessing their upcoming slate and strategy. Sabrina Carpenter was rumored to be in talks for the role. Oh, that sucks. She would have been good.
She would have.
Disney's strategy of taking classic animated picks and turning them into live action adaptations had been successful over the years, going back to Alice in Wonderland, the latest Mufasa, the Lion King,
Mufasa.
since its release in December, has grossed $720
Jesus.
million worldwide. All right.
God.
It's a lot of scratch.
So we were talking about live action adaptations. So what are your thoughts on the live action Disney projects?
I'm not wholly against them. Like I also don't feel like we need live action takes on everything. I'd prefer,
No, we don't.
yeah, like I'd kind of prefer that we get more original stuff.
Yeah, I stand
Yeah.
by in-universe spinoffs, is my opinion.
Yeah, like
So-
in-universe spin-offs is fun. Like, let's do something that takes place in that universe but live action.
If
Like,
you
I think
wanna,
Tangled, I mean, I know there was a series, but I think Tangled, it's like a whole fantasy world. You could do a lot there.
yeah. But there is a really cool series that was done. I want to say, like late '80s, early '90s, maybe. It may be later than that. Called Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater.
I remember that show.
And they did like all of these like fairy tales that a lot of the Disney movies are based on. So, and I just loved those. And they did it like in an hour or something. Some of them were a little bit longer. And it had the popular actors of the day. So it was kind of a cool thing. So I'm like, I already kind of got live action versions of all of this. So I'm not really sure why we're rehashing it. But,
I mean,
you guys do you.
Because they had success with the stories that they told. Now they're trying to recreate that magic, but it's kind of like you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a little bit more to it, more than just the movies themselves. Think about like, okay, they have Disney and live action movies and cartoons, but then they also have Disney Plus that they have to support. They have all these parks and they're investing IPs into the parks, so I think they want things for kids and Disney goers to grab onto.
Trying to print money here. I know the whole grip
Right.
here. It's just
Here's another argument. So we're talking about Tangled and Snow White and this and that, and that's what's happening. We hate it, we love it. Just stick to some new IP. Are we talking about Elio? We're not talking about Elio at all. And it's a new IP that's coming like in a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's
They
fair.
also haven't
That's why I'm
started
saying the
ramping
whole
up the marketing
spinoffs.
on that yet.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying spinoffs and things might be better if you want to stay in that universe. You could market it as like, Tangled something else or whatever, or like Snow White, colon whatever.
Snow White's granddaughter's first cousin.
Snow White, the dwarves are all dead and I'm depressed. Whatever.
You're all dead and I'm depressed. That movie would just not be good, just because whether it's just going to be like memory holes.
It's going to be it's going to be a really dramatic series about her mourning the dwarves and learning to move on.
Yeah, and that makes no money. No money at all. Nobody wants
But
to
it's
see
going to be a great movie.
Here, I've got one.
Tangled
The
zombie.
dwarves go missing, and Snow White turns into a detective, a la like Agatha, one of the Agatha Christie, like Miss Marple or whatever. And she goes and finds out who kidnapped the dwarves.
And
But
it's
the
all-
way, but listen, the way she finds out is she opens up the refrigerator and there's 7 little cartons of milk, and then she turns them around. And it's all the dwarves.
This
And,
sounds
and of
so
course, it is called Snow White, A Little Crime.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! This is definitely something that's on Disney Channel and not in theaters.
By the way, Elio comes out in June, so we're like 2 months away from Elio. So
Haven't heard of it.
We talked about it a while back on the show. They haven't done any marketing on it. Yeah,
Well, that's the problem then.
yeah, because
the
Elio is a
marketing
really good
department.
concept. It's about a kid who becomes like the ambassador, unwittingly becomes the ambassador of Earth in like a new galactic federation.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I wish someone would take me to a different planet. I mean, what?
or perhaps
or different
a different time.
or a different universe, or it's time to get back to in the time machine. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but Rick and Morty season 8 officially has a release
Stop doing
date
that.
and the teaser trailer to go with it.
wait,
Wait,
pause,
Stop doing
pause.
the voice.
Make yourself bigger and do it again. because I want to clip this and I want to put it on Instagram to annoy everybody.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
He's gone.
Then he
Whew.
left.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button there. All right, let me pull the thing back up right here. Right. It's time to get back in the time machine. It's been a long time coming, but Rick and Morty season 8 officially has a release date and the teaser trailer to go with it. Adult Swim made the announcement as part of its annual April Fool's Day hijinks, revealing that the next chapter of the interdimensional chaos kicks off May 25th. Grandpa, is that right? Is that what we're supposed to be? Shit.
Why do I have a headache now?
That was your audition tape, so we'll get back.
Oh my god!
So the
We're
trailer
gonna
is
send that off to
awesome.
HBO.
Oh geez, Rick.
Sorry, Frey, what
Trailer's
were you saying?
awesome.
You saw the trailer?
Awesome. We watched it, and yeah, it was really cool. There were Jesus, like Galactic Jesus,
You mean
trooper
Xenu?
people.
Xenu?
No, like, and they had like cross guns and stuff, and yeah, it was cool.
Are you guys excited
I
for
can't
this?
do any voices.
I am. I do love Morty. Obviously, I do Morty's voice, but I mean, like, I really do love Rick and Morty. It's a great show.
Yeah, Rick, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. That is one show that has got me involved in. I didn't know it existed at all until him. So, yeah, that's Adventure Brothers.
It's time to get swifty. It's time to get swifty in here. Take off your pants and panties.
My favorite thing is when Morty tells Summer to get her shit together and put it in a backpack.
Okay, Summer,
I love that.
get your shit together, put it in a backpack, and carry it with you.
Yeah, it's like, and take it to the shit store or the shit. Like it just goes on, and then and it's when it was like Pickle Rick, like he turned himself into a pickle. No, he was like young Rick, and Lil Rick.
Pickle
That's
Rick,
what it was. Yeah, and yeah, oh, it was awesome. I just love that. That and then when they did the Galactic heist.
Oh man, the Galactic heist was so good.
Yeah, it was like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, you son of a
love
bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, it was just awesome. So
Well, speaking of animated projects, though maybe not of the same caliber, and more Warner Brothers makes no sense news. After selling off its Looney Tunes movies, Warner Brothers Animation is going to attempt to bring new life into some of its most iconic animated franchises, with theatrical animated movies now officially in the works for the Flintstones, Looney Tunes, and Tom and Jerry. So, has the studio had a change of heart over their animation division?
I have a question. I have something to actually I have something to say to both the Warner Brothers and all of their
All two of them.
And the Warner and the Warner
and the
sister
Warner
got.
sister.
Yes, and of course
And-
the Warner non-binary siblings.
Yes, just all of the Warners and
Yeah.
Zaslav in particular.
Yeah.
Are you all okay? I mean,
they're not.
seriously.
Need help?
I honestly, I mean, are you guys okay? Because some of the decisions y'all have been making, I feel like maybe you guys need to see a doctor and see maybe if there's like some sort of degenerative disease going on.
Right? Yeah.
Because these decisions, they make no sense, sweetie. They make no sense.
Right.
So just get help. Get help. Zaslav, get help. Sell a boat and get help.
This
Sell
baffles
one
me.
of
So
your
one of the yachts, yes. So one of the yachts.
two movies that were like produced, ready to go, and they're like, no. But then let's
Right.
revitalize
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry.
What the hell?
Let's sell off, or let's just bury the Looney Tunes stuff. And oh wait, we're gonna make a whole new like thing about it.
Yeah, and
What's
we're gonna
going on?
we're also
Yeah.
gonna bring back the Flintstones because
Right.
there's a lot of clamor for that.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know they've been trying to do some kind of Flintstones reboot, but it's never got off the ground.
Yeah,
But it's an IP that a lot of people know, but like there's a whole generation that are like, "What's a Flintstone?" You know?
Los Picapiedras.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Why do they drive with their feet? Why don't they have cell phones? Can you imagine? That would be awesome. I would love to see the Flintstones have like Apple phones, but they're not like Apple. You know what I mean?
It's like
You
the
know
Rock
what I mean.
Mobile.
Yeah,
The Rock.
right. And the Rock could be on it.
Yeah, no,
Because-
it's a phone that just has a picture of the Rock on it.
There we go.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Is cooking.
I'd buy that phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Give me an iRock.
Right? No,
I
but like,
rock.
you know, they did that. They had like celebrities would be on it and stuff. They could like do that. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. Although
Well, you
Paris
know,
Hilton would try to be on it, and
I
would be
will
really
say,
upset
I
about
mean,
it.
we were talking about The Rock. You know, there could be other somewhat famous wrestlers turned actors that might have something.
Wait, hold
Another
on.
sequel, perhaps.
Hold on. We can't let Warner Brothers off the hook. We cannot let Warner Brothers off the hook
Well,
by glancing over this.
I'm trying to transition here. Come on.
I know, that's why I can't let you transition. Warner Brothers is, I can't believe it. They let two big time movie ready films go, but
Yeah.
then they're like, let's revitalize Flintstones, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry. It makes no sense to me. Like, let's sell off our IP and then
try to do it as
oops, sorry. Let's bring it back.
I don't know. There may have been some just corporate bullshit with it. I'm not sure.
Zaslav does not. I think I said it before. Zaslav does not respect animation.
Yeah.
I was thinking
I
about
don't
like
think he respects anything.
that
It's
Space
only-
Jam movie isn't
Right.
that old. You know, that came out 4 years ago. You know, like
yeah.
it's
Was that
Looney
long?
Tunes is still relevant. I still can't figure it out.
Look,
I-
Tweety Bird is not a flash in the pan. Tweety Bird is forever.
And speaking of larger than life birds, I'm trying here,
Oh.
okay?
Go.
Do it.
I cherish peace with all of my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it. The wait for Peacemaker
Cool.
Season 2 is almost over. James Gunn has released a brief tease for the next chapter of the story. Season 2 takes place after the event of Gunn's Superman film, so how exactly will this version of Peacemaker fit into the evolving DCAU? Well, that remains to be seen. Peacemaker Season 2 is set to drop on August 21st of, I'm assuming, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I'm
this
into it.
year.
I'm into this. But what's interesting though, it's coming out after Superman, but it's somehow connected to Superman. So this is, like how Superman is starting the new DCU. Well, I guess Creature Commandos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
did.
Started the new
Superman.
But
DCAU, yeah.
but Superman's kind of the big theatrical jump off, and I don't know how they're going to do this. They didn't have Cavill in season 1, but they referenced
They
that version
did.
of Justice
Well,
League, right?
that's an ongoing debate about how they're actually going to handle it.
Yeah.
That it could be that it is like a cross-universal thing, or that like they're gonna just pretend that he's crazy or something, that he like went crazy for a little bit and just hallucinated it.
Either that or I think it just becomes a big joke.
Yeah, that's probably it will, and then they'll probably edit it or something and whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm in. I like me some
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
Or they show
I-
like an alternate shot of it and it's David Cornsweet.
There you go.
Oh,
They
maybe.
do that.
Maybe.
Yeah. I need to watch. It's August. Yeah, I need to watch the first season.
You do. I know you don't like John Cena.
No.
I
Look,
swear it's really good.
I made a statement
did.
a couple weeks ago on the show.
Yeah.
And said I now like John Cena.
All
I have stated that I apologize to him and all of his fans, and he's a good guy.
So
He's
so
a
hold on.
good
So
guy.
after he turned heel, you like him.
Yeah.
Basically,
You like heel
yes.
Cena.
I see.
I mean, we all
No,
like Cena.
because
Mama
it's one
likes
of
them
the because it's just weird that it's one of the few comic book things that I've watched but you haven't. Usually
Yeah.
it's reversed.
That's true.
And Peacemaker is great.
It is.
You're gonna love it, Jen. I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now.
Okay.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end of the regular news here. So we're going to do something a little bit new here, courtesy of our amazing staff writer, Jen.
Yay.
We are bringing a new segment for everybody here. Now, speaking of Superman-like characters,
Ooh.
we are going to do something where we explain a Superman-like character just in time for Thunderbolts. So, ladies and gentlemen, please get ready. We're filling the void. Oh, of course, my mouse is on the wrong
The
place.
longest intro.
Mouse in the wrong place, and I can't find my mouse.
We're ready to fill the. There it is.
Sweet.
Woo. Okay, you know.
No, that was James. So
Yep.
it's really good, though. It actually sounded like it was something that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What
All
you
right.
need to know for the Thunderbolts movie, basically, is the something. And I want to say thank you to James because he came up with that, and it's amazing. And filling the void. So
Yeah, filling in the
good
voids,
on ya.
Filling
right.
the void.
Feeling the void. Not filling, like not feeling, but
Filling.
filling.
I'm glad we're doing this because I've watched the trailers. I've seen the commercials. I don't know what's happening in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot about Sentry either because when he came out, I wasn't a big Superman fan. Like I didn't even like. I was like, no, I don't like the Big Blue Boy Scout. So why am I gonna read this Sentry BS? So I didn't read it. So I have no idea who he is. So let's find out together. Hopefully, I think Phil can help us with the holes.
Yeah, I've actually read a few of Sentry's books, so I know a bit about Sentry.
Okay, awesome. So the first section is What About Bob? In Marvel Comics, Robert Reynolds, aka Sentry, has a long and storied history. He fought alongside the X-Men, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and was friends with Doctor Strange. Why doesn't anyone like now know who the heck Bob is in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie? Like, why don't they know who he is if he's done all of this?
Yeah.
So
Comic wise, he's a pretty major character, but he's one of those characters that hasn't really had any shine outside of the comics.
Right.
yeah,
Until now.
until now.
Right.
He's one of those like really OP characters that not everybody knows about. He's not as not as famous as the other S guy. So a little comic origin, which is the next section here. For his origin story, Robert Reynolds, or Bob, was a drug addict looking for his next fix. He broke into the wrong lab and became an accidental part of the Golden Century Serum program, another offshoot of that sweet super soldier serum.
Ooh.
This drug gave him the power of 1 million exploding suns. That's a lot of suns.
That's a lot of suns.
That is a lot of suns. So he's still technically powered by a sun or suns.
Drugs.
Drugs.
Powered by drugs.
Drugs.
So don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, yeah.
After Bob came down from his life-changing trip, he took on the name Sentry and became Earth's mightiest hero. Sorry, Thor. The Void appeared on the scene, a shadowy monster that exploited its enemies' greatest fears. After the Void nearly murdered over 1 million people in Manhattan,
Whoa.
Bob discovered that the Void was his repressed dark persona, y'all, powered by the Sentry's own abilities.
Didn't Professor X have this happen to him?
Kind of.
Onslaught?
Onslaught is Professor X's dark persona. So I mean, like, this is a theme that happens in Marvel every now and then,
There's a lot of dark personas.
where there's like a dark part of a character that just manifests and becomes a villain.
One episode of
Sentry-
Star Trek, yeah.
Well, like Sentry's been that from the beginning. There's always been this kind of like pull between the Void and Sentry, and kind of like where you know, the fear of Sentry is, yes, he is this OP, just super monster character.
Right.
And we've talked about, like, you know, there are multiple Superman knockoff characters in Marvel. So Sentry, Gladiator,
Hyperion.
Hyperion is another one. Who we just had him in Guardians. Adam Warlock is another
Adam
one.
Warlock, yeah.
You know, we've had these characters who are like the Superman equivalent within Marvel.
Superman
Sentry?
pastiches, you could say.
Yeah, Sentry is going to be your closest to Superman as far as like power set goes. The thing is that he's also kind of like Parallax.
Oh,
Or like
that's a good comparison.
Ooh, that's
the guy from the
yeah,
voice
big
Homelander.
comparison.
Well, no, Homelander is just evil and plays a good guy, right? So like Homelander is a little bit different when it comes to that. With Sentry, Sentry is it's almost like he has dual personalities, right? He has like Sentry is who he is, and the Void is when he loses control over his repressed feelings.
Right.
So kind of like how they tried to do Wolverine at first, where like when he went really feral, he couldn't really control himself. But he had to like keep it under wraps, and that's why he came to the school in the first place.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just went, "Oh, fuck that! We don't want to do that anymore. We're just gonna say he's cool and drinks beer and
well, think about how they did the Two-Face rewrite, right?
Yeah.
Where
I could see that.
Yeah, where it's like Harvey Dent is who he is, but then he's suppressing Big Bad Harv, and Big Bad Harv every now and then would take over. You know, and it's like multiple personality disorder kind of thing, but like he would take over and then cause a bunch of havoc, and then Harvey Dent would feel like he would feel bad about it and just be like, oh my God, I can't let this happen, can't lose control again. It's kind of that's what's happening with Sentry and the Void.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's very much a power struggle in one body.
Yeah.
So tell me about Sentry. Like, so he's super strong and he can fly like Superman, right?
Right.
What else does he do? Because this whole like turning people into shadows or ash that he does in the commercials, I'm like, what is that?
That's
like I was gonna say, doesn't the Void have different, like totally different powers? Than
Not necessarily. It's the same power set. The thing is that the Void is when Sentry is just tapping into unbridled power.
Okay.
So think that this is where Sentry compares to Superman a lot, is that he suppresses his power a lot in order to do the right thing, right? He has a lot of his own morals, his own morality, and it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to always try and strive to do the right thing, but I have to kind of hold myself back in order to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you think of like All-Star Superman, right? Or Superman versus the Fatal Five, right? Where Superman just completely where he seems like he loses control. He actually is in control the whole time, but like he loses control and shows what he's capable of doing. That's what the Void is. The Void is unbridled power, and he is so OP. Like basically, it's almost like the Hulk, right? Like you have to, in order to stop him, you have to like make him stop himself.
Right. Yeah.
There are a lot of characters in Marvel that are super OP like that. Yeah, super strength. He can fly. He's got heat vision. He's got again, he's got a very similar power set to Superman.
Yeah.
He's got like nigh invulnerability, and he can fly. He's got something. He had some sort of kinesis, like I can't remember what it was, and I apparently Marvel sucked about it. Okay, so it was he has, let's see, energy manipulation. So he absorbs energy and darkness when he's the Void.
Right.
Energy absorption, telepathy.
I think there was a run where he's like communicating through telepathy, and they're like,
oh, okay,
yeah.
So the name Void doesn't relate to like the Void in the Loki series, right?
No,
he's not zapping fools and they're getting sent to the Void, unless
what is it? Avaroth is
Avaroth
is his child. He's like, yeah, it's my puppy. That's mop poker.
You mean Eliath, right?
Eliath, that's it. Thank
That's
you.
his
First of all,
crypto.
Aberoth is the continent from Warcraft.
I'm okay with that.
Just making that clear.
I'll allow it.
like that's the whole thing with Sentry is that like it's always a duality. Like the times where he showed up in different books that I have is where he's kind of like that last minute pops in and just wrecks everybody.
Yeah.
But then everybody's afraid of him because everybody knows what he can turn into.
Yeah, he's got some. It's just really some interesting things. I don't know how many powers they're going to give him. Like we'll be able to see in Thunderbolts, and I think maybe that's like obviously we'll see flying and like light manipulation, but I don't know how much they're going to get into explaining all of it.
Yeah. Speaking of getting into explaining all of it,
Let's move into the next part here.
Right. I'd say Bob pulled a Peter, but this is a family show.
He's
Peter.
Like Peter Parker
is he Tingle Tingling?
in Spider-Man No Way Home, Bob enlists the help of Doctor Strange to make everyone forget he was Sentry because of the Void. In the first trailer for the Thunderbolts, several of the members of the team find Bob in a lab, which does lead back to his comic origin. So, I mean, like, it could be that we're going to get his updated comic book origin. So not like he was in the past, but there. Or they've wiped his memory again and he doesn't know what's going on. And he has been around that long when nobody knows about it. So I have a theory about that afterwards.
We will talk about kind of the weird gaslighting marketing campaign that the whole comics did, but... Well,
Yeah, when they did show him in the is that the trailer or the commercials or whatever?
Yeah.
He does look like he's out of it. Like he doesn't know what's happening around him. I wonder if it's like a mix of like the Winter Soldier program. Like they're just setting him up to be the next Winter Soldier, but he's
which would tie
also
into
Superman.
Yeah.
Which would tie into Thunderbolts. So
It's almost like we're writing this.
Oh.
So yeah, I do think what is going. Oh, little hand. Okay. Hi, Deadpool.
Did you have a question?
Did you?
My finger has a question. Yeah, right there. Okay.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Great. Gotcha.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
You realize the people that are listening to this on like Spotify
have no idea what the hell
that's
is going
about.
on.
I put both my hands up at that time because that was Jackie. But sir,
Le Jack with the little dainty hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. This
Okay.
It was weird.
Sorry for the distraction.
Right. No. Hero versus villain, aka it's all in his head.
Yeah.
This appears to be the story the Thunderbolts movie will be telling. Bob's struggle with his immense abilities and the consequences of having so much power, but how will the story unfold? The MCU seems to not only be focusing on the multiverse, but also telling stories from the past, like with the Fantastic Four First Steps. Mm-hmm. So could the Thunderbolts be far more important on the road to Doomsday? Could these misfit heroes be the chaos that not only saves their Earth, but also the whole multiverse?
It was Sentry all along.
Yeah,
Basically,
I mean,
yeah. So I really think that maybe Thunderbolts is going to be telling the story of, like, I mean, obviously introducing Sentry, right? But I think we're going to get a huge backstory of him, and that may be like what they're talking about. And the Void comes, and then it's like,
that'd be cool.
Sentry is kind of a last resort character, so he's kind of what Captain Marvel was in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Where, like, basically they're getting their asses kicked, and then Captain Marvel shows up and it's just like, oh yeah, okay, well now we can start winning. He is that character in a lot of these big events, right? Where the Avengers are getting the shit kicked out of them, and then all of a sudden Sentry shows up and just wrecks everybody.
Like, where were you the whole time?
But the whole thing with Sentry, though, again,
is not get my text.
I know. But again, the problem with Sentry is even the Avengers are like, God, we don't want Sentry to show up because this dude can't control himself.
Right.
And it's like, he becomes the Void. There's a point in the comics where he's learned to control moving between the Void and Sentry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like then he can come. Again, one of the other big issues that you have with the Void is I don't remember the storyline. I have to like look through my comics again. But there's a storyline where they like the Avengers ask him to become the Void because it's the only power that can stop the villain they're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think that the way they treat him in Marvel versus the way like Superman's treated, I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic. And
It is, yeah, and it's an interesting dichotomy too.
Yeah,
it's more
I mean,
like
a lot of it is kind of like that same storyline between Superman and Sentry. Like they have this whole, you know, morality versus reality thing, right?
Right,
Like it's,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
I stop myself and I fight the way I fight based on my morals and what I was raised on. But then also, like, you know, what happens when you have a character like that realizes that they're a god and can just do what they want.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
I mean, it's like a little bit of trauma goes a long way in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like
But-
that's kind of like where the Void comes into this and where this character comes in. You know, everybody talking about Thunderbolts, Ironheart, Doomsday. That's kind of where it comes in. Like, why is it relevant to know about Sentry before going into Thunderbolts, or like why you want to know about Sentry? And again, Sentry is it's going to make it a very compelling story to hear these powerless characters, these characters that, you know, yeah, you have like 3 characters who are technically super soldiers, but like, you
Right.
know, like these 3
Technically.
characters, right? Because I mean, you know, you have Red Guardian, who is a super soldier. He's a Russian super soldier, but he's a super soldier.
Right.
Mhm.
You have Johnny Mayo, who is a super soldier. He's just like lost his mind.
Right.
Right.
And then you have, oh, here comes the hand again.
Oh.
And then you have
Speaking of hand, you have Bucky.
and that's what
Yeah.
speaking of hands, that's where I was going. Is you have Bucky.
How did you not see that coming? How did you not see that coming?
She was gonna put the hand in my nose.
Yeah. how-
Yeah.
But yes, you have Bucky, who is also a super soldier. And you know, and then everybody else is kind of like, you know, you have a lot of combat specialists and whatnot. I guess technically Taskmaster is a super soldier too, but not as
Not
much
in the
as they are.
same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More of like superhuman reflexes, but
Right.
but like with those characters, you know, you have a bunch of characters who are more ground level superheroes. They're not like your major superheroes like the other ones that we have in the Avengers that are fighting a character like specifically the Void.
Right.
You know,
Which is
like
insane.
yeah, like how do you have the Thunderbolts of all teams go up against not only Sentry but the Void and survive?
I think
That's what
it
makes
will
that
be-
story compelling.
Well,
Yeah.
I have like 15 things to say, but I'm going to say 2 of them.
Yeah.
First,
And one of them is you got a new haircut.
no. This happened like weeks ago. I just I just styled it for this.
I'm
To
just
answer
like,
your question,
what
Phil.
are we talking about?
I think you kind of mentioned earlier, or you kind of brought up, oh, it's kind of like the Hulk or whatever, right? I wonder if it's going to be something like that, where it seems to be the theme of this movie is very much about finding community and finding friendship and finding purpose and all of that. So I wonder if that's going to impart kind of they're going to be able to teach that lesson to Sentry, be able to be like, hey, you need community, you need to, you know, to again talk him down more than anything else, because I can't really fight him, and I can't really fight the Void and or Sentry,
Right. And they
But-
don't have a Wonder Woman that would just snap his neck.
right? So
Right.
they're not going to, you know. So it would be a case of, well, we need to talk him down. We need to be like, hey, we learned a lesson here. You need to as well. And like
Well-
he's the dark side of all of them in a way too.
Unless his kryptonite is spicy mac and cheese. Then
There
Which
you
they have
go.
a
very
chance.
well
And
could be,
Yelena
right.
Belova has a step up right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Got this.
So before we finish off here,
I did have something else as well, but go.
okay. So there was a test screening that happened over the weekend for Thunderbolts,
Mhm.
and I have non-spoiler reactions to it.
Ooh.
Oh,
that I
really?
wanted to bring up. So there's 4 of them. They're in bullets, right? So the
Alright.
feedback that people gave.
How
If you're-
apropos, because
I
they
know.
all shoot guns.
Yeah, I know,
Pew,
right?
pew.
If you're feeling jaded by the cape shit genre because they're all feeling the same, I would definitely check this one out.
All right, it's good.
The journey it takes the characters on is actually interesting. The team dynamic is great, not unlike Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, all
Makes
right, all
sense.
right.
The way the Sentry slash the Void is executed into this story is really fascinating.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
That's
the
really my
audience,
thoughts.
the audience I was with seemed to love it, and I couldn't stop talking about it highly after the screening.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
So, like
Sounds good.
this is people coming out of a test screening and just people excited about the movie. And
That's-
even then,
that's a good sign.
well, the
Yeah.
other thing is test screenings usually don't give you everything.
Yeah.
It's usually an unfinished version of the movie that has the majority of it in there, but it's probably not going to have post-credit scene. There's probably going to be added scenes and stuff like that, but it's just
Right.
the general feel of the movie. Sometimes there's animatics in it, but I mean, like the
Right.
general feel of the movie, people are saying they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this. I'm excited
Me
even
too.
more.
Yeah.
I've been excited for this. Yeah.
And I mean, like researching the Void and kind of understanding what that's all about, because
Yeah.
I was like James. I was like, what? Like kind of that kind of thing. And I was like, wait, that's supposed to be the same guy as Bob. And that's,
Yeah.
and you can tell, I mean, they're not hiding it. It
Yeah.
looks like the Bob figure. It's just all shadow. And so I really am interested in how they're going to present that. So, and
Yeah.
knowing a little bit more about it, he was a drug addict. And, this goes back to Tucci's character, to Dr. Erskine.
Yeah.
Erskine? Yeah.
Erskine, where he said it just enhances who you are.
Mhm.
And if they added stuff to it to make it golden, I mean, that could have irreparable damage as well on someone. So, that, and having that kind of power is going to kind of break you.
Yeah.
And
In the
seeing
comics,
that.
Sentry is also amnesiac, so he tends.
Which is what I'm going to get to.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
like whenever he turns into the Void, he basically forgets everything.
Yeah, and I was
So
going
it's
to
like
say
he's
that.
a werewolf.
Yeah. So
I use an inhaler when I.
anyone who is more familiar with Sentry than me, which is I think pretty much everyone here, besides maybe Frey, and James. Okay, so
just
Phil,
me, basically.
Phil,
Like,
Phil,
there's
correct me if I
only
get something
4
wrong.
of us here,
You got a void in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?
He's
Whoa.
also amnesiac.
So Phil, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the actual comics to introduce Sentry, they did a whole almost gaslighting thing where it's like he's been here the whole time,
Yeah,
and then they go into the whole Doctor Strange thing happened where everybody's memory was wiped of him being the Sentry, and so I
because
wonder.
it happened twice in the comics. It did happen to Spider-Man too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder if they're actually going to do that or not. I don't think they are, but I also think it would be very cool if we saw like an alternate version of some of the previous movies or whatever. Like we saw Avengers 2012 where it's going around the circle or whatever, and Sentry's there, or it's we see Ultron, we see Age of Ultron or whatever, Sentry's there. We see in-game Sentry comes out of one of the portals or whatever. That would be really cool to do that whole thing, and then you can explain, oh, well, his memory was wiped because he's the Void, and all this shit happened, and now he's been stuck in this lab for years.
they do have an out in Spider-Man No Way Home, because there is a moment where Doctor Strange says that I don't want to do this spell because the repercussions are they're long lasting.
Right.
Yeah.
He
And
could
it's
know
kind of
that
like
from
right.
Yeah,
He knows that because he did it with Sentry already.
Sentry.
But if he forgot, then he wouldn't remember it, unless he planted a hidden memory that is triggered when someone wants a spell like that. And so that's why Peter's spell doesn't go exactly the way he thinks it's gonna go.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think that could be it. So like he basically puts like a back door or a trap door in there so that if this happens, he kind of screws it up a little. So and that could be it. That they could really like loop this back around and then blow everybody's ever loving freaking mind.
Yeah.
Which seems like they're trying to do anyways.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't really think you can gaslight people with the same way you could in the comics or whatever. But
I don't know. People can get gaslighted really.
well, no, I'm saying
really
with
easily.
I don't think you could be like, well, he's been here the whole time. You just didn't remember him or whatever. You can't really do that. But you know. But I think it'll be cool to see how they handle this character.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Absolutely.
I think
The
that's
more I
conclusion
learn
of all
about this movie, the more hyped I get for it.
Exactly. And that was
I
the point
really
of the
feel
segment.
like their marketing has been like spot on for this movie too. Did you guys see that whole bolts thing where it's like this is an eye bolt, this is a thunderbolt, like that?
Yeah.
I love that. That was so freaking clever. And then I was like, I learned so much about bolts. I was like, I had no idea what these
The marketing on this is genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not taking themselves too seriously, it seems like.
So
is
everyone, are we good if we wrapped up our
Yeah.
thoughts here? All right. So if you want to have 2 opposing shirts or perhaps 2 opposing hats that you wear interchangeably for how you're feeling on that day, if you want to lose control and change your entire outfit, we got merch, people!
We got merch, people!
Man, you went on a journey on that one.
Yeah, well, I landed back. It's,
He landed
Over
the
the
plane.
river
It's fine.
and through the woods.
I landed the sentry.
Right, you're not at grandma's house.
See what you did.
We got shirts, people, and one of them is a void since we're out of the black shirt. So just don't even look at it. It's just a void.
No
I'm
more
wearing
black
a
shirts.
character shirt.
No,
No more hats.
No more hats.
we're
But we
just
do
running
have
out
the
of shit,
character
aren't we?
shirt. Just DM at Distance Nerding on Instagram. Let us know what size you're looking for. So if you want the character shirt, it's beautiful charcoal gray. We should have most sizes right now.
Yeah.
I know we sold a few recently. So let us know what size you're looking for, how many you're looking for. They're $20 each, 25 if we got to ship it to you. And yeah. Oh,
And Jahmez has new merch. I keep pressing the wrong button.
I was like, what the heck?
Oh,
wow.
we have a tote bag.
We got tote
little
bags.
baggy
baby.
bags.
Nice.
Little baggies for your
I
bag.
love
Those are
tote
very, very
bag.
cool.
Come get some.
How did
We were
the
like,
kids like them?
they love them. They all stole one each. So
Oh,
Phil
yeah.
owe you money for 3. So sorry, but they stole it. They put their names on it right away, so like I can't steal them back. It's very rude. Very rude. Anyway, yeah, we have I think these are, what are these called? Drawstring tote bags.
Drawstring bags, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So you can
that's
throw your
awesome.
stuff in it, at a con, especially at a con, you get cool
Yeah.
stuff and throw it right in the bag.
Can
Carry it
come
with
out.
you. They're I think we're gonna do $10. $10
Alright.
each.
Yeah.
$10 each.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Nice.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like
$10
it.
each. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's cool. I
Like,
like it.
so versatile too. Like you could just
Yeah.
out for a run, put some
Right,
stuff in
you
the
can-
back.
yeah.
It's lightweight.
Well,
I can see
out for a
that.
run while listening to the podcast, you can have your
Yeah,
Right.
There you go.
have your
There
tote
you
Right.
go.
bag.
Yeah.
You can hook it up to a Bluetooth and put a Bluetooth in it and run
Right.
around so everybody else can hear the podcast.
Right, exactly. Just put like a
There
big
you go.
speaker
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
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 Yeah. There
It's
you
just
go.
playing the theme song
Just,
the
like,
entire
blast
time.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
Right.
and just blast it
Yeah.
at like 3 a.m. Yeah, see,
Yoga?
just like blast that at like
Yeah.
3 a.m. like 3 in the morning. Just blast that running around Sacramento.
Yeah. Oh, we got them.
You can put
They're pretty good
dog
size.
toys
They're
in
fun.
it if you're going to the park with
Right,
your pet.
exactly. Yeah, you can put dog food in it. You know.
Not really. I don't. You
I
really
will.
don't
All
want
the
to
dogs
feed a
chasing you.
dog
It's
out in the.
disgusting.
Yeah. No. Nope.
You could smuggle things in it.
why does
Legal
this
things.
smell like
legal
expired
things.
meat? What the hell?
Ew, fun. So anyway, we have the charcoal character shirt, and then we have the drawstring bags. So if you're interested, we'll get you hooked up. And you know what? If you want them both, you want a shirt and a bag, we'll get you a deal. We'll get you a deal.
And you can put the shirt in the bag.
In the bag
Yeah.
with Stickers. You get
Hey!
stickers. More stickers. You get it all. You get it all.
Yep. Woo.
I'll throw in a kid's bluey. You know,
Right.
one of
Yeah,
the kids'
and
blueys.
again,
They'll never know.
One of
You'll never know it's
James's
gone.
children may be in one of the bags, but you know,
Exactly.
we're just gonna
Yeah.
just
Coco's the
Just-
little one.
Just,
ignore that.
you know, be cool, people.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
She does eat a lot though. So
All right, let's move on to the schedule here, ladies and gentlemen. The schedule that we have going on right now. Of course, I've been back on Mondays doing more game streams again. I actually decided on Monday to stream back on Facebook again.
Ooh, okay.
I figured it's a game stream. Why not? We'll do game streams back on Facebook again. Won't hurt anything. But on Mondays from 8 to 12, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which has been an amazing game so far. So I've been doing that. Of course, Tuesdays, the download, the show you're watching right now from 6:30 to 8:30. And of course, Thursdays, the build from 6 to 8. And Fridays have been turned into our Friday fun day game thing on whatnot. Now, actually, this
hang out
Thursday-
spot drop.
exactly.
mixer.
We kind of do just
Yeah.
random stuff on
I had
Friday.
a name for it. Don't try to change the name. She had a name.
Oh, what was the name?
I don't remember now. Oh, the hang. It was the hang.
Oh, Friday
Oh, the
Hangout.
hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday the hang, right. Thursday. So instead of we're still doing the build, but on Thursday, rather than doing guest, just tune in, guys. We're doing something fun. We are going to be doing Avengers team ups. So essentially what we're doing is creating teams of Avengers teams that we want to see in Secret Wars.
Well, yeah, teams like hero teams, and then I guess there's a villain team.
Yeah, so like
Um,
multiverse teams. So like
Yeah.
what different versions of multiverse Avengers teams. So an Avengers team led by Steve Rogers, an Avengers team led by Bucky Barnes as
Yes.
Captain America.
Right. Plus,
let's
you know, there's and then whoever's in that each of the teams and whatever.
Right, like who would be on those teams in those respective universes? You know, like of course,
Right,
an
exactly.
X-Men team. We would want a villain team, which I mean needs to be led by Captain Hydra because that makes the most sense. But like those teams, right? Like
Well, I see.
those-
Oh.
I see. Phil's already trying to impose his teams on
Yeah.
us.
So
Wow.
If somebody
the
wants
bill
to-
agenda.
if somebody wants to contribute, they should just like DM us at Instagram
and
at
we will-
Distance
we-
Nerding.
Oh,
We'll add it.
Absolutely. Or you can send us an email at
Yeah.
nerding@aol.com, and that way we have it for Thursday.
Or Friday. We're doing it on Friday, right?
No, we're doing it Thursday.
Already
We
Thursday.
are.
We're doing it Thursday because we have a couple of special guests that are going to be on the show with us.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll
Okay.
do it on Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm done with mine. I already finished
Yeah.
it. And I just want to say
And I have been done
think
with
you
mine for a
guys
while, so
will like my team names.
I believe you will like mine as well. So, because Frey has heard them. So
Yes.
Nice. Now, just shout out to a couple of friends of ours. Of course, we have a whole bunch of friends of the show that do their own shows tomorrow. DeLong Family Cosplay is going to be going live on their YouTube channel at 5:30, and they'll be they do their cosplay. So basically, they're doing cosplay repairs and getting ready for shows and everything like that. And then after that, I believe it's at 7:00 Pacific Standard Time.
It is.
Conversations in the Void. So make sure you guys tune in to Graveyard's standalone show. Always fun interviews that he has on his show. So
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely.
speaking of the Void, right? Conversations in the Void.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he lives in the void. Do you think he's gonna like really empathize with Sentry's other persona?
So
Void?
when Sentry turns into the Void, he's just gonna grow a big beard. Big
Oh
long
yeah.
Beard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fun fact: the beard is the Void.
Oh yeah.
That
yeah.
is
See,
it.
yeah.
That
I
makes
thought
so
the
much
beard
sense.
was a black hole
Yeah,
and
it's,
a Stargate.
It is
All those sound dirty.
it is a place
Uh.
from whence nothing escapes.
Again, all those sound dirty.
it sounds disgusting. All right.
You're
Well,
not wrong.
man. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into this. Of course, SHDU. You got pluggables to do, sir. Give us
I
all your pluggables.
do. All right. I am SHDU Studios on YouTube and on Instagram. I currently do Elder Scrolls content, TTRPG videos, lore from my own fantasy world, my own original music, paranormal investigations, and so much more nerdy stuff. You can actually go watch my latest video, which apparently you and the rest of the internet has probably already seen, which is on if the Elder Scrolls is really polytheistic. I also have a new song out called Epiphania. It's kind of a Greek-style musical piece. And then also, I am on Frey's channel. We have a little series called Classified, where we take your favorite pop culture characters and place them into their respective D&D classes. Season 2 is currently being released at a very slow pace. But, you know, glacial pace. But it is being released still. You can go watch the latest episode, which is still, yet again, Percy Jackson on Season 1 of the Disney Plus show. There's also Jonas' Classes, not Jonas' Classes, Jonas the Ancestors, which is a continuation of Jonas' Classes, where we will go over the different races, ancestries, and or species that inhabit the worlds of the multiverse. I'm also in the Distance Learning Sphere. I am on the Download on Tuesdays, which is the very show you're watching right now, the Build on Thursdays, and I am allegedly on Kyber Cave.
Allegedly.
Marginally.
Why don't you plug your hairstylist? Huh? Give them some love.
It's great clips. It's just yeah.
They do good work.
Anything to add?
I'm having a really good hair day.
Okay.
That's good.
It's good.
It runs in the family. See how it is.
Yeah. James, you want to show everybody your hair?
No, it's long and gray.
It still looks pretty good though.
I know, right?
It's still pretty. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
still,
it
It's
it's good
you
and
know
sexy,
what?
yeah.
Embrace your
That's
gray. Embrace it.
Philippe, show us your hair now.
My hair's a mess right now, man.
Okay, you know what? It still doesn't look that bad. Okay, it looks a little like Midwestern Dad. Just
Oh my god!
Midwestern Dad.
Listen to him. Midwestern Dad.
just a little bit.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, you look bad. Just I don't want to say.
What he's saying is, you have hair like his father.
Oh, ugh.
Midwestern Dad.
Midwestern Dad. Oh, I think I think Phil just like mind vomited.
Hey, if you have something you want to discuss, tell us what you're nerding out on and connect with us.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to support the show, all you got to do is head over to distancelearning.com. Head up to the blue button right there. It says buy us a taco. You can buy us a taco. Ladies and gentlemen, you can join the taco party. That's right. Do that because it's the best thing to do.
Woo!
Woo! Taco party, y'all. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Join the taco party. That's the best way to support us.
I didn't even notice these maracas here have lettuce and crap in them.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
We actually went through and appointed each taco to one of the hosts.
Yeah.
Philippe's the one with the blue hat in the middle with the maraca, because that one has the most Midwestern condiments.
So who am I?
Oh.
Who is
You're
my
one of the ice
taco?
cream cones.
Yeah, you're that guy.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You're the guy with the blue and red hair right there.
Yeah, look at that swirl though. See,
Okay, I mean,
standing up tall.
that looks pretty good.
Doesn't even look melted.
I look like I'm kind of depressed, but trying to be happy, trying to be positive.
You're like, how come I didn't get a maraca?
Oh,
I didn't get a lettuce maraca.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch us on all the social media places. If it exists, we are there. Of course, find us on all the places. You can connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's not X, where I guess we're on Twitter just for the time being. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and Mandels the beard, Jahmez's glasses.
And of course,
he's already ASMRing. Jahmez's
of
glasses
course,
on the table, and SHDU being extremely creepy on the mic.
And of course, all the pictures you could want of Phil's Midwestern hair. All the pictures. All of them.
That one's not going to make the cut. He's going to edit it out. He's going to edit it out.
100% editing that out. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out into a pile of ashes at the feet of Sentry or the Void.
Nice.
Of course, you can send us an email at dist.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
Bob, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
think I know
Bob.
what a void is or a century is. I'm still not quite sure.
Well, void can mean several things, just depending on the context. That
Been
you
waiting on
use
those
it in.
jokes all night. It's
Most
nerding.
people. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead and finish your joke.
I was gonna say most people avoid the void.
I don't avoid the void. And snerding at AOL.com.
I would say that the stupid jokes on here are unavoidable.
Oh God.
Oh.
We are getting into puns and it's bad.
We all need to go to bed.
Yeah, we do.
Let's go.
So speaking of going to bed, ladies and gentlemen, we're all going to say it here.
Thanks and keep
And keep
nerding
nerding
together.
I was
together.
gonna say,
Go to bed,
Bruce, go to
Bruce.
sleep.
Bruce, go to sleep.
Bruce, go to sleep.
Bruce, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, Bruce.
Go
Isn't
to
this
sleep.
where you play loud
Bruce,
music?
It's bedtime.
Yeah,
Go to
yeah.
sleep, Bruce.
This
You
is
tell
where
me to go to sleep
That
and
is
then you
funny.
play loud music.
Bedtime.
It is funny
Play
that
all the loud music.
We tell the child to go to sleep and then we play loud music. But
Yeah.
you know,
So speaking of loud music, loud noises. All right, so play. Time for the dance party.
Distance nerding. We'll see everybody on Thursday.